Hey, kids. You're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast.
Prepare for the SML Podcast.
It's showtime. Let's do this.
So yeah, it was my birthday and I had some gas station sushi or something. It wasn't even gas station sushi. It was like grocery store sushi, but it was apparently sketchier than I thought. And I went hiking and it was a good thing that I had a lot of napkins in my backpack.
Thank God you didn't have to use leaves. Oof.
But my buddy was like, we were on a public trail. And so my buddy was sort of like standing guard in hopes that everything would be fine and she could like divert people's attention. And the only place I could find cover was this like snag, meaning like a tree that had mostly died. And there was a hole in the bottom that was some poor animal's house. And so I shit all over this poor animal's house, just like right on their front door. Because I couldn't hold it anymore. I could not make it to the bathroom. Like, this was gonna happen. And yeah, there you go.
Chipmunks come screaming out. What's going on?
And there's a good way to start the show. There you go.
It is. What's up, everyone? This is the SML Podcast. I'm your host, Joe. Hockey's here. Poop is McGreet is here. No, Jacob. Oh, Jacob literally just popped in. Right in time for the intro. Welcome in, Jacob. How are you doing?
I'm doing.
All pooped out now?
Nah, I'm saving that for during one of your reviews.
Oh, Jacob, did you miss the mother of all poop jokes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you were late by a minute.
I'll have to listen to the episode later.
Yep, you will.
And it wasn't a me one, so it's actually funny. It was by Bri.
Wait, you guys actually started recording already?
Yes.
Yeah, you're a minute late.
I was literally doing the intro and you came in. I didn't even get to the guest yet. By the way, we have a guest tonight joining us from Transparent Games. Anna Konczak is here. Anna, how are you?
It's 3 a.m., so I am doing.
Here I am. What? Wait, are you in France or something?
Poland.
Okay, all right.
It's called Europe, Jacob. It exists. You should look at a map.
No shit. I have to deal with a lot of European stores, so yeah, I'm aware of time differences. Thanks.
Are you? Are you really? Anna, for people who don't know who you are, or what Transparent Games is all about, give us the sales pitch. Who are you and what are you doing here?
I'm the project manager and writer at Transparent Games. So I basically run the company with my best friend, Lydia. We make visual novels for the female audience with some LGBT themes, mostly otome. And we've been doing this for 4 years now.
Very cool. And how many games to date have you been working on?
I have no idea, actually. We released over a dozen free games, and then we got our commercial project, our first commercial project, Saintess of the Golden Bow, made public. We had a Kickstarter this year, and now we announced our second project, which is My Wife is a Spy.
And Aki, you played both of those, didn't you? You checked out the demo for them both?
Yep.
Talk.
I'm bad at talking. Why do you?
Oh, I know. But this one's all yours, Aki. Ask your question.
I hate you, Joe.
I am putting the spotlight on you. without having discussed this with you beforehand.
I am so sorry because I am bad at interviews. I usually am quiet for like 90% of the entire hour or two they're here, literally not saying anything. I am so sorry that you're apparently stuck with me today because Joe's decided to be useless.
Hey, I did the intros. What is Saintess of the Golden Bow?
It's a visual novel. Didn't you just hear?
I didn't ask.
Okay, I'm supposed to say what it is, or you want to introduce
Jacob,
it?
what is Saintess of the Golden Bow?
I'm sorry, what is what?
Someone didn't do their homework for the show.
Good interview.
Anna, tell us, what is Saintess of the Golden Bow?
Okay, so it's a visual novel where you get to romance three guys, and it's about Celeste. Actually, it's about Celine, who gets reincarnated into the body of Celeste, who is an extra in the web novel Saint of the Golden Bow, but she takes over the role of the saint, thus becoming the Saintess of the Golden Bow, and she has to save the world from the Demon Queen and fall in love, and it's surprisingly more tragic than it sounds at first.
Why does it have to be more tragic? What are all of these going to be sad? I thought this one might not be. I knew the other one was definitely going to be, but...
Well, I have a question then, because I had some questions I wanted to ask after seeing, the demos and some of your itch page and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So in the world of visual novels, I see a lot of times people try to tackle difficult subjects like grief and abuse and gender or sexual identity. And I'm glad to see that the space is there for it. I'm just curious if you think there's a reason that these topics keep being covered in the visual novel space so much.
My internet broke for a moment. Can you repeat what topics?
Just why do you think the visual novel space lends itself so well to dark topics like grief and abuse and stuff?
Not exactly sure, because I'm also a book writer and I don't avoid those topics in the books that I have written either. I guess people who write like to explore different kinds of dark, we can say that, topics.
Yeah.
I can say why it is for me. I can say why it is for everyone. For me, it's therapeutic.
Okay.
Now, like you mentioned that, like you've written books. I assume that you've also made video games too, or sorry, I'm going into this interview blind.
Yeah, I made over a dozen free games during the game jams in the last 4 years.
Okay.
I also worked on like 4 or 5 games in different companies as a game designer. As for the books that I have written, they were ghost written. I worked as a ghostwriter. I sold them, but I know the reviews because I looked them up.
Now, like, have you adapted any of your novels into video games or vice versa?
Once, but I haven't released that title yet.
Interesting.
I actually, you mentioned game jams. Tell me about the experience of a game jam. Like, what is that all about?
So the game jams I took part in were 2 months long. Because for visual novels, there's a lot of art to make. People tend to lean towards stories that are around 2 to 3 hours long for those game jams. The scope can get very big without control. The game jams are chaotic because everyone works for free, so you have to balance your demand as a project manager of their time, of their free time, and people people disappear all the time. It makes it stressful, but despite that, I managed to gather a solid core team, and we made some games till the end, and they're released on each.
Okay, and so My Wife is a Spy, that was a Game Jam game, right?
Both Saintess of the Golden Bow and My Wife is a Spy had their first demos released during Automa Jam.
Nice. So tell us about My Wife is a Spy.
My Wife is a Spy is about the nameable MC who again gets into a situation with a truck, in this case a delivery van, and gets reincarnated as Sophia in a webcomic, and she has to fulfill a mission which she figures out is spying on the Duke of the North, whom she is supposed to marry in an arranged marriage. And the player has a choice of either romancing Zachary, the Duke of the North, or betraying him.
I have a question. Do you consume a lot of manhwa? Just
Yes, I
okay.
used to.
Yeah, I
used to.
kind of figured as much just based on how these two were. I was like, oh, they definitely read a whole bunch of manhwa. There's no doubt.
Aki, I'm
Explain
done.
what that
What is
is.
that?
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, you normies. Manhwa it is.
Well, fuck you, Aki.
Okay, do you all know what manga is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, manhwa is the Korean version, basically, of that. It is basically made for web novels instead of actual manga publications. So it's all scrolling vertically instead of reading individualized pages, and it's Korean. That's it. And
My
it
wife
just
reads a lot of those.
yeah, it just so happens that there are a whole bunch that happen to have very similar styled plots as these, where, you know, someone dies and then comes back as someone that they've read in a web novel. Usually it has a tendency to be a villainous, especially as of late. Those are extremely popular. So yeah, hence I knew you had to have, because I read a bunch of them too.
So my whole idea behind doing commercial projects for Transparent Games was to see if we can bring the tropes of webcomics into the visual novel format, into the interactive format. That's why the two games are Isekai Otome.
I think that's going to work really well.
Seems like it, based on wish
Yeah.
lists.
Very nice. So, I know that there's lots of familial abuse, especially in the second game. There seems to be at least tiny hints of it in the first game. Where did all that come from? Just where did you get the idea of that?
Personal experience.
Oh, lovely.
Well, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's why I said writing games and books is therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
I think these topics are important to touch upon in different kinds of media, and because I have personal experience with those matters, I think I can be real with them when I write them.
Good. I mean, that's good to hear that you can be real with them. Not that you had to go through all that, but
I am looking at your itch page, and I'm counting 22 games on here. How long have you been working on visual novels?
12 years or 5 years, something like that.
so
That's
how
a
long
lot
does
of
it
visual
take?
novels.
How long does it typically take to develop one game?
If we are talking those games that Joe is looking at right now, 2 months each.
Okay.
That doesn't seem like that bad of a turnaround. I mean, this obviously is more than just like a hobby and stuff like that. I mean, it seems like you're doing well for yourself between all the writing and the visual novels. how'd you get into making video games? Like, I mean, did you grow up like playing video games a lot, or like did you just get into stuff later in life? Like,
I grew up playing a lot of video games. My favorite when I was a teenager was Warcraft 3. So it makes total sense that I turned to visual novels, right? About 5 years ago, I decided to change my career path to game development. And I basically wanted to write for games, but after I made a small portfolio of games, visual novels seemed to have come the easiest for me. I got a job as a game designer, and then I got another job as a game designer because game dev industry is project-based. And I continued making visual novels in my free time because I loved it, and I love the genre, and I love writing, and I love the art. We started working on Saintess of the Golden Bow around 4 years ago, but we haven't gone public with it until last year. In the time that we developed Saintess of the Golden Bow, which was developed completely out of my funds from my day jobs, until Kickstarter. So I continued making those free games because they gave me a fix.
What are some of the challenges that you ran into doing Kickstarters?
We are kind of a special case because in October last year we got a grant from the European Union through a technological park in Poland, in Krakow. So we got a grant, and we were supposed to use that grant for marketing during the Kickstarter. Because I had the money from the grant that I needed to spend, I was able to meet and hire a marketing specialist, Hubert, from Konczak Marketing, and he helped me. He taught me basically everything I needed to know about marketing, but he never had experience marketing visual novels before. He never had experience making a Kickstarter, so we learned those things together. We made some mistakes, but overall we pulled through, and the Kickstarter got 150% funded.
Very nice.
excellent.
Yeah, it was just to finish the game because on the art side, because we only needed we did a lot in the last few months with that money because it really accelerated the process of finishing it. I think by the end of this year, all art will be done, besides those cut-ins that Lydia decided to add to the game, such small CGs. But when it comes to writing and programming, it's still a while to go.
How long do you see it taking to come to full release?
We have time until April 2027, but I think a bit sooner.
So what are some of the fun rewards you gave away with Kickstarter?
The most sought after were the Dakimakuras, and those are body pillows with half-naked characters.
Of course.
Aki, how many did you
Imagine
get?
those were very popular.
Yes. If we ever do a Kickstarter again, we will surely offer Dakimakuras again because they were very popular. There is also the booklets, the additional scenes with the characters. A lot of people were interested in this, and we had a high average pledge on Kickstarter because people added the booklets alongside the game.
Very cool. So what steps come next in development? You said that the writing and the artwork still has a ways to go?
Artwork will be done by the end of the year, and now it's on me when it comes to writing and programming. I'm actually in the month of October. I'm taking a mental health break because I
Good idea.
have some stuff to do. I'm learning more about myself in this month. But I think come November I will go back into writing Levi's route full swing. I am about 2/3 done with that route.
Very nice. So you mentioned earlier that the Golden Bow was bittersweet. What about My Wife is a Spy? Is that one also going to be really bittersweet no matter the ending, or is there a good, happy, joyful, you won type of ending?
I think with My Wife is a Spy, I wanted to be more. We start from the dark stuff, from the place where MC is abused, from where Sophia is abused, from where Zachary and Otis distrust Sophia and think she's bound to be a spy. But it's a story about hope, about learning to heal. So there will be good endings, there will be, of course, bad endings, but it's not like Saintess of the Golden Bow where you have those death loops. If you played the demo till the end, yeah, it's a lot of suffering.
Yeah. I'm so glad that My Life as a Spy is going to have happy endings, good endings. Bittersweet ones just hurt my soul. I cry far too easy for that stuff.
Wait, when did you get a soul?
I'm pretty sure someone offered me it for a cupcake once.
That is fair.
I'm pretty sure I have a few that way. So, I assume one day when I die, I'm just gonna stand right back up. I assume it's like Cat's 9 lives. I don't know. I don't know how this works.
So we talked a little bit about the novel as a whole and a little bit about the writing. I noticed you have the same artist for both games. What is the process of finding artists, and how did you get to know them?
We don't have the same artist for both games, just the lead artist.
Just the lead artist. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Lydia is an art director mostly.
Okay.
She supervises what other people do and sometimes makes art as well. The harder art.
So you have multiple artists then, not just the lead artist.
Yes, we have for My Wife is a Spy. We work with Kimi and Fura on backgrounds. How we found them. Basically, the easiest way to find an artist in the visual novel community is through the Lemasoft forums. But I think Kimi applied to us directly. Fura I found on the Lemasoft forums. As for Saintess of the Golden Bow, that is a more difficult topic when it comes to art because the original artist stopped working with us after 2 years and we had to find a way to continue. So at some point we had people whom we taught how to draw in the art style of the original artist so we could finish the game.
Oh, that's rough.
Yes, it was difficult, and basically we had interns and we taught the interns the whole process of designing characters, making sprites, and how to draw in that style.
Nice. I really like the coloration in the Golden Bow. Just the way the color was put on everything it looks very nice.
Is it golden?
There is a lot of gold in it, yes. I'm not going to deny that. Yeah, there is a lot of gold in there. But no, like, lots of the art styles, there's a lot of... I don't know any of these technical terms, but it looks like there's like a halo effect fairly often in like people's hair and stuff, and I love that because it just looks really nice.
Yeah, it's Lydia's job to keep the art style consistent between different artists.
They did a fantastic job. Though I will say I probably like My Wife is a Spy. I think I like that art style a bit more just because it's a little more realistic, I think. Though it doesn't have as much of the beautiful coloration in it, but it does. It looks a lot more real.
Yeah, My Wife is a Spy has a bit more muted colors, right?
Yeah.
More browns, reds, like not reds, burgundy, I think that's the word. Saints of the Golden Bow is just straight up colorful.
Yeah,
It's supposed to lure you in and you think everything will be fine, but it's not.
yeah. The Golden Bow is there to break your hearts, people. Just to be aware. It makes you look like everything's going to be good, and then it's going to stab you many, many times and make you feel pain and suffering.
Is it wrong that I'm looking forward to the final releases just to hear Aki's review?
You're a dick.
Aki will suffer.
Yeah,
As
I'm
is
definitely. Yeah. I always get these games. I know I'm going to suffer. It's fine.
How long is the planned runtime of either Saintess of the Golden Bow or My Wife is a Spy? And how do they compare to the lengths of the other titles available on your itch page?
Okay, Saintess of the Golden Bow is supposed to be around 30-40 hours long.
Wow.
So it's a lot of writing and a lot of programming ahead of me for me. My Wife is a Spy is just one love interest and 2 paths, so it's planned to be 8 to 10 hours long. And the projects that are on my page, which were created for free, are around 2 to 3 hours long.
The Golden Bow is looking to be like the big one.
Yes, hence the Kickstarter. It was very needed.
Yeah, the moment you start adding more love interests, they always get longer and longer.
Each love interest has like 8 hours planned for them of content. Yeah.
Nice.
Horror Acolyte
Seems
hanging
to
out in
be that
chat
way.
wants to know, what are some of your favorite non-visual novel games?
Dragon Age, the first installment, and surprisingly Inquisition as well.
Okay.
I like Inquisition. I didn't mind the combat system. I like the story. I am a sucker for solace. I like pain and suffering.
Clearly.
Yes. What else? I like city builders, so Banished, and I like card games, so Hearthstone.
Nice.
Have you ever considered, like, because I mean, obviously you do the visual novel stuff. Have you ever like considered tossing in like other types of game genres into them? Like sometimes like you'll have like a visual novel, but there's also like a shmup or like a shoot 'em up involved in them. Like later on in the show, I'm going to be reviewing a full motion video game that also has like kind of like a matching or combination factor to it that also gets included. Are you like, have you thought about doing anything like those?
There's an audience for pure visual novels, and our visual novels have the whole stat rising systems that track affection, suspicion, stuff like that. And when it comes to different types of genres, I used to get my fix designing those from my day job, so I know it's not part of my plan for Stansfield Games.
So, how complicated is it to script branching paths? Like, does the software help do that for you? Or is that a lot of coding that you have to do on your own?
You mean like write or program?
So, I mean, you have multiple endings and you have branching paths. How does that, is that something you have to code? Or is there built-in software that helps with that? Or are you building this all from the ground up?
I have to code it in, and currently we are working on Unity with the Nani Novel plugin, which helps me with the infrastructure, with the backend of it. Yeah, but I track everything in my head, and it works.
Okay.
Yes. I know people like to draw out diagrams of branching paths and stuff like that. I have an outline, but I don't track every choice in that outline. I just wing it, and it works for me, so I guess fine.
It sounds like I'm
that's
asking
how we've been doing
weird...
this show for a decade, so you just wing it and
right?
see what happens.
I'm actually tossed around the idea of trying to make a visual novel myself, so I'm gonna ask a couple more questions possibly along those lines.
That's fine.
I want to make something really simple and specific to consoles, but not otome and that sort of stuff. It's going to be goofy. So yeah, I'm just seeing what's out there, and it was really neat to be able to talk to you about this tonight. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with.
Well, thank you.
What
I don't know if it'll be any good.
What advice do you have for aspiring writers?
I think I had 2 interns this year in writing, and I think the most important thing for a writer is to find their editor, because you learn a lot about your writing and about writing in general from seeing your own work corrected by someone who is a professional editor. I had the opportunity to find my editor early. It was when I started writing, and we stuck together all these years. Their name is Jenna Rose, and at first they had a lot of patience with me, of course, because I was learning, and now it's just it's not they no longer suffer as much editing my stuff. And when stuff gets edited, do not get mad about the edits. Accepting feedback is very important as a writer.
Yeah, Jacob, when I completely edit you out of this show, don't get upset. It just happens.
Oh, thank God.
If Jacob gets edited out of the show, that means Jacob was redundant.
Oh.
And truer words have never been spoken.
It's true. It means I'm redundant.
Yeah, you are. You're
which also means
I repeat.
Which also means I repeat myself.
Repetitive too.
So, do you regret being on this show yet?
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
Good. All right. So you talked about taking a mental health break. What do you do for self-care in between writing and programming?
Cross-stitching. And I listen to audiobooks with pain and suffering. I'm listening to Alchemist right now. Not right now, but between everything I do.
Well, if you're about pain and suffering, you came to the right podcast.
So how often do you stab yourself accidentally while you're doing cross-stitching?
A lot, because I'm clumsy. But it's a part of the charm. As I said, I like pain and suffering.
I'm a fiber artist. I do all kinds of things from felting to knitting and varying other things. And cool. I always say my project's not good until I bled on it. So,
yes, I agree. Yes.
How would you bleed on a video game, Bri?
I would find a way.
I started cross-stitching as a kid, so it's like my whole house is full of cross-stitched pictures.
Nice. Any other hobbies you have?
Writing and making video games.
All right. Fair enough.
I'm just boring like that. I have very limited hobbies.
That's not boring at all. So Is there a visual novel you remember that like really got you excited about visual novels?
When I was, I think 16, I played Second Reincarnation. Or was the Second Restoration? It was a while since I played that game. Yeah. It was my inspiration for Saintess of the Golden Ball, one of them. It has something to do at some point with going back in time and pain and suffering, of course. It's a romance.
Of course.
It's an indie, like a doujin Japanese otome, which was translated by fans. That was like 15 years ago, I think.
What's your favorite visual novel? Or is that also your favorite visual novel?
I also, I don't have one favorite. I have multiple favorites that I like for different reasons. On Switch, I like Olympia Survey, which is a newer visual novel. I played everything that's possible in that game. Every path, because normally I get bored after a while.
Fair.
And I don't play to the end of every route. Thinking. I also like Sharnov, which is not a romance visual novel. It's a Lovecraftian horror visual novel. I also played the fan translations thereof because I don't think it's available in English otherwise.
What games did you grow up playing? Were you a console person growing up or PC?
PC. The Switch I bought a few years ago is my only console. I wasn't a console person.
Have you looked into porting any of your games over to console?
It's still my question.
Yes, but nothing is confirmed, so I can't say anything about that yet. As for the games that I played when I was younger, aside from Warcraft 3, it was, of course, World of Warcraft, and various games from Big Fish, like time management games, dress-up games, stuff like that. Just anything I could get my hands on.
Hey, some of those casual games are great.
Yeah. The genre died a bit in the last years, and then it came back, and I'm glad it did.
Going back to some earlier topics, you mentioned, like we've talked about art and writing, and you mentioned marketing. What else goes into getting a game published?
Depends on if you want to publish it with a publisher or yourself.
So what's it like to do it for yourself versus a publisher then?
Supposedly, a publisher, if you get a good deal, is supposed to help you with marketing and visibility. If you don't, or have a deal that doesn't include that, and you have to do your marketing on your own, it's a lot of social media, ads management, reaching out to influencers and press on your own.
Now, have you had to do stuff like that?
Yes, because
how much of a pain in the butt are influencers to deal with? Out of I'm just curious on that.
Utterly and completely.
We have a curated list of emails of people we can reach out to that we found on the internet. And out of the, I think, 800 people we reached out to for Saintess of the Golden Bow, 60 responded. So I think that gives you an idea.
Eesh.
Yeah, it's hard. With so many games coming out, it is so hard to get seen in this day and age. And I like that we're able to find some of the lesser seen games and give them some time on our show to talk about what sets them apart and what they bring to the industry.
the thing that was really upsetting or funny, depends how you look at it. We had all this money from the grant. We could have paid some people, paid influencers, and many were not even interested in responding to us. So it was difficult in that way to spend some of the money.
And
It's better to keep that money for things you actually need rather than give it to influencers anyways. Ugh.
I mean,
I
if
know,
you want
but we
if you want
had
to
to
slip me
spend the
$5,
money.
I'll talk. If you want to slip me $5, I'll play your game.
Jacob, you don't have Steam.
I also don't have anybody. I also don't have anybody I'm influencing. So
True.
Yeah, but imagine having the money and having to spend it, and people not responding and not knowing how to spend it. It all went into ads at the end.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
that is a
Important category.
significantly that's a significantly better thing to be spending that money on than some schmuck who tells their people a bunch of dumb things.
Yeah, but ads were also a bit controversial in the sense that we spent that money on ads because we had to spend the money, but we had to spend it in a very short time period. And the more money you feed into ads in a short time period, the less of a conversion you get. It should be more spread out. Doing a Kickstarter in 6 months or 5 months, it was actually from when we decided when we got the grant and we had to do the Kickstarter, it was 5 months. It was a very short time period.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I really didn't know that the influencer scene was so hard to crack into. Like,
Depends on. Yeah, because those were Otoma influencers, Maybe that's specific to the genre. I don't know. I won't judge the whole internet because of my experience.
Yeah, I don't know.
All
I
groups
see, when
of
we get an
influencers
email,
suck.
we get an email and I just ask the crew. It's like, does this look interesting? And if someone says yes, it's like, let's cover it. Let's talk about it. Let's give it some attention and a spotlight on our show and see what we could do for it.
Yeah, and he responded to us.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Now you're stuck on here.
I don't mind.
Regret number 1 about video games.
I said I like pain and suffering, so this suits me fine.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, masochism is a good reason to enjoy being on the show. Fair enough.
Episode title's just pain and suffering.
It's my favorite saying, so yes. I regret nothing.
Oh, man. I know we've been chatting for quite a while. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't bring up?
I wanted to talk about what you think as people who have a lot of contact with different video games about voice acting.
As long as it isn't AI,
Yes.
it's fine. I don't mind if there's voice acting or no voice acting. I don't particularly care if it's great voice acting as long as it's, an indie game. Like if it's a AAA game and the voice acting is crap, then they had the money to make it better. But otherwise, I don't really care as long as it's not AI voices because they are fucking terrible.
Yeah, I'm of the mindset that I would take no voicing over bad voice acting, and I would take bad voice acting over AI voice acting.
I'm not even considering AI voice acting,
Good,
so yeah.
I
don't do anything with AI.
Good. I would add that partial voice acting is also sometimes like a nice compromise where you have just highlights of things and hms and ahs and expressions like that from a voice actor that you can use to just give that little bit of tone to it is appreciated as well sometimes. So
yeah, it's for visual novels. It's nice when there's voice acting in it, but it's not really a requirement. Just because everyone has a voice in their head for every character. So it's never been particularly important to me, just because half the time when someone voices it, it's like, oh, that's not the voice I had in my head, and that just kind of detracts from it for me, because it's like, that just doesn't sound right, even though that clearly was the voice for the character, just wasn't the voice I had for that character.
I will say, as someone who is an influencer of sorts and does stream games, reading visual novels sometimes is hard to read for like a straight hour. And so having the partial or, voice acting to some degree is really helpful for showcasing a game.
For Saintess of the Golden Bow, we went the route that all CGs are voice acted. We got that milestone funded, the stretch goal, but in the end, all things considered, since the game is so long and has so many CGs, it's 40 CGs, 40 scenes that are voiced, which is a lot. And I know it will add to the development at the very end in terms of time needed to get everything recorded. So for My Wife is a Spy, since we are not sure if we will want to do a Kickstarter or not for the game, we are currently not considering voice acting if it's not funded via Kickstarter till the end. Because for Saintess of the Golden Bow, I heard opinions that, as Aki said, the voices don't match what people think the characters should sound like, even though the characters' intro scenes are voice acted. So from the get-go, this is the intended voice for the character.
Right.
My feelings, as much as I love voice acting, are mixed right now and on the topic.
That's fair.
I also rather enjoy voice acting as well, but that's mostly because I don't like... This is going to be really weird to hear me say this when I'm the person who's played these games, and I play most of these styles of games on here. I'm not particularly big on reading.
So I have a friend who's a librarian, and she hates to read. I don't understand that either. But I get it. There's reasons to be involved in it regardless.
I actually used to work in a library, and I have an English degree, and I always said I was better watched than read, because I was like a walking movie store. But if you had asked me if I had read such and such book by Charles Dickens, I'd be like, what? I don't know if I ever heard of that one.
Okay. Yeah, whereas for me, I'm visually impaired, so reading takes me significantly longer than it does everyone else. So anytime there's voice acting that takes some of that reading requirement away is always a plus for me, but it's never been very relevant, because I have a tendency just to assume a game isn't going to have voice acting, because I play a lot of indie visual novels, rather than the big, well-known Japanese ones that are always voice acted by the same 12 people, some of which have some of the most annoying voices on the planet. So yeah.
Let's ditch Twitch and chat saying haven't read a book in 20 years.
But Japanese visual novels have bigger budgets than what indies can do with just their salaries.
Yeah, and then they still manage to pick voice actors who have terribly obnoxious, annoying voices. Still, somehow they manage that.
It seems like it's a parody at this point, where some new JRPG is fully voice acted, and there's one character that makes you want to jam a pencil in your ear, and you're wondering, how the fuck did they get hired? That's always been the case. How did they get hired? How did this character make it into the game? And I'm a quick reader, so most of the time when I'm playing games with voice acting, I make it halfway through their sentence, and I'm clicking the button, move on.
Sometimes I do that too. Yeah, for Japanese voice acting, that's kind of always been a thing, sadly. From indie all the way to like its big ones, because visual novels are much more well enjoyed in Japan than here. So they get pretty big over there, and there's always one or two voice actors that are just obnoxious sounding in all of them. It's always been like that.
Oh man. Well, Anna, it has been an absolutely fun chat having you on. We have a lot more show we got to take care of, so we are going to let you get going. Let's go down the list.
Right.
Aki, do you have any final questions?
No, because I think all the questions I would have already been asked by others or myself. Huh.
There's like 3 other people. That's it.
Yeah, as I said, others.
You couldn't keep track of us?
I could, but that would require effort, and you know I'm not willing to expend that on any of you.
There. Jacob, final questions.
No.
Jacob?
Would you rather fight one giant duck or 50 tiny ducks?
I would lose either way. I'm not very good at physical combat.
I would take the 50 tiny ducks so they could just like swarm me and I can snuggle with them.
Ducks
Yeah, but they're
bite.
attacking. They're attacking you. It's
They're
not
tiny.
Okay. Joe will be sadly eaten by ducks
That amuses me.
Worse ways to go.
because Joe is secretly made out of bread.
Oh,
Bri, final questions.
I don't have a final question. I just hope you feel better soon.
thank you. I feel better because I can go to sleep now.
Yes, I was going to say, and get some sleep. Definitely.
Yes, we have kept you awake
My
long
job
enough.
here is done.
Go, final question. Have any?
My final question is, where can people keep up to date with you and what you're doing?
I'm mostly active on X, so Twitter and Instagram under Transparent Games.
Very good.
All right.
Anna, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, chatting. People, go to Steam and check out Saintess of the Golden Bow and My Wife is a Spy. Grab some demos, try them, play them, put them on your wish list, and keep an eye out for future releases. I'm sure as they come out, we'll be able to check them and talk about them on here. Anna, it has been wonderful having you on. Do you have any final words before we let you go? You can go to sleep.
Thank you very much for letting me be here, and it was a pleasure chatting with you.
You too. Have a good night.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us. Have a good one.
Night.
Bye.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
I
Thank you all for talking.
I don't know if I could use sadomasochistic literature as the title.
Why not?
Kids Corner.
Oh.
Especially because we got like
Yep.
Barbie horse trails on this one. Mom, I want to hear about Barbie. Oh, what are you going to listen to? Sadomasochistic literature. Honey, where did you learn the word literature?
So what you're saying, Joe, is we should not talk about horseplay at all later?
Yeah, we totally should.
I mean, depending on when the review is and
True.
when you're talking about it.
Yeah.
And how gloriously graphic it is.
News. We get the news.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
I don't have much this week. I didn't pay attention
I don't
that
either.
much this week. I had shit to do. Like I had Monday was the holiday, so like I didn't do shit. And then Tuesday we had an interview, so I was focused on that. And then yesterday I had my ADD doctor appointment, so I was like doing that all day. And today I had this interview, so I didn't I haven't done shit this week.
Fair.
And I still
had a
don't know
kinda
if I have
similar
ADD
busy
or
week.
not.
I'm always so busy with actually playing the games that I'm reviewing that I don't pay attention to news very often. I got a piece of news, which is more than I usually have. So yeah, I'm doing pretty damn good.
Lucky, you go
One
first.
is
What do you
better
got?
than zero. Oh, shit. Okay. About a dozen classic Japanese arcade shoot 'em ups are going to be removed from Steam at the end of the month because of licensing stuff expiring. Yay. It's the games are all by developer Psycho. Psycho. Psycho? Okay, I assumed it wasn't pronounced that way from the spelling. Okay. It's Strikers 1945, 1 through 3, Gunbird 1, 2, Gunbridge, Samurai Aces 1, 2, and 3, Soul Divide, Dragon Blaze, and Zero Gunner 2. So, yeah, if y'all want that shit, go buy it up before the end of the month, because it is going bye-bye.
Yeah, I had no idea that was happening, so...
I learned that just yesterday, I think. So, yeah.
Damn. I know a bunch of them were just re-released in, I think, bundles on Xbox.
Oh, I wonder if they're going to get removed from Xbox too or not.
I don't know.
Because it specifically only mentions Steam.
Yeah, these are just the single release version. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So, if you want these, go buy them on whatever you want them on, just in case.
All right. Well, PlayStation Plus game catalog update was announced for October 21st. And damn, they're getting some good stuff.
Yeah, I saw some of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Silent Hill 2, the new one.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome.
Yep. Then PS Plus. Until Dawn, the PS5 version.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Rising.
Cool.
I don't know about that one.
Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Fuck yeah.
Poppy Playtime, Chapter 1.
Meh.
Not bad.
As Dusk Falls.
That game was awesome.
I don't
The
remember
visuals
what
still
that
really
is.
fuck with my head on that one.
I really enjoyed it's like a visual novel of sorts, or like a you have multiple people playing and they make different decisions and you vote on if there's like a tie, you have to have like a tiebreaker, and there's multiple branching paths and endings, and it's really cool.
It's similar-ish to like a Telltale game, and it was Xbox exclusive for a little bit. That was when they were hyping up.
I think maybe I'm remembering it now. Okay.
Yeah.
The music was really good too.
And Wizard with a Gun joins PS Plus. All those on the 21st.
Okay. Not bad.
And
not bad at all.
One PS Plus premium game. Just one. Tekken 3 from PS1.
Meh.
Yep. Xbox announced a handful of games are getting Play Anywhere upgrades for Xbox and PC, including Odd Sparks.
Okay, not bad.
Okay. Mortal Kombat 1.
Okay.
Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2.
Ooh, nice.
Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon.
Not bad.
Said to be very Skyrim-ish. And then this one has a lot of people excited. Baldur's Gate 3. Now Play Anywhere.
Speaking of Play Anywhere, Xbox is having a 99-cent sale of Play Anywhere games. That was pretty fun. Cleaned up, got a bunch of good stuff out of that.
Some Temco RPGs in there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. I need to go find the page that has all that listed somewhere so I can buy it.
I will link it right now.
I wish it was a bigger list.
It's not a huge list, but there's some good stuff in there. Yeah. I will link it in the group chat here.
Or $1-ish each.
Yeah. Some of them are like upwards of $2, and some of them are cheaper than $1. So
that is fine with me.
Throw it in Twitch chat too. So able to check that out.
For
a new Final Fantasy Dissidia game was revealed. Yay!
Yay, mobile games.
It's a mobile gacha. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotchas. Yeah. Grody.
Last bit of news I have, 1000 Cross Resist is hitting PS5 and Series November 4th from fellow traveler. Best of all, Game Pass.
Yeah,
All right.
that I'm excited for.
Indeed. I didn't think it would come to Xbox, let alone be on Game Pass.
I did not expect it to come to Xbox either, so I'm pretty stoked for that, obviously.
Indeed. Bri, what news do you have?
So Remedy may be in some financial trouble after FBC Firebreak's updates failed to bring in more sales, causing the game to underperform, which is a shame because while I haven't checked out the new updates, I actually enjoyed my time playing the game with Aki and Lloyd. I thought it was pretty fun, and I think more people should check it out.
I did not like the update as much. They changed a bit too much in it. They did add a new map, though, and I haven't played that yet. But I don't like some of the upgrades they did to leveling and stuff like that. I think they minimized how many items you needed because every level basically had its own specialty stuff you could get for leveling up your different abilities and stuff, and they lowered how many of those there were from, like, there was 6 different types of things to now there's like 4, I think. But now you don't really get to choose your map anymore, and it's just, and they've set it up to where instead of being able to build how you wanted to play each level, because you could pick, do you want it to be a tier 1, 2, or 3, which is just how many levels into sections of this level are there, how difficult you wanted it to be, whether you wanted corruption on there or not, which every room you opened had basically a little item that would give the things in it extra abilities or something, be it like moving them faster, making you take forever when you jump to land, or giving them armor, shit like that. You can't control any of that stuff anymore. Now those are specific playlists for each one of those, and they're for seemingly specific maps even, and I hate that so much.
I'll have to take a look at that. My next bit of news comes from Lloyd, actually.
Why?
Yeah, so the ROG Xbox Ally handhelds are out now. He got his, and it came with a trial of Game Pass Premium. In the past, everything has come with Ultimate, which seems like a poor marketing decision if they're really trying to get people to play day ones and get all the streaming stuff.
That's shitty.
Yeah. He mentioned that the Ally X at least came with Steam pre-installed. To confirm, you can play your Anywhere titles on the Ally. But we all know that because we're informed shoppers and can read.
Yeah.
Some people, I think, are going to be mad when they realize that they can't play everything.
It's not an Xbox Series console.
Yeah.
It is it's
more of a Windows system.
PC.
Yep. It is. It has a Windows setup, just like regular, fresh install of Windows. You have to set up all the things and log into your accounts and all that. And you'll be able to get other things on there like Epic and GOG and all that stuff to play your games.
It's a PC.
Yes.
I see so many people online pissed off that it's like it starts up like a PC. It has Windows setup like a PC. People are like, they couldn't simplify this for Xbox? Like, it's a PC. They fucking can't. It's a PC.
Yeah. But some other features he mentioned, there's a fingerprint reader in the power button, and you can set a pin using the controller just like an Xbox. So those are like some security features you can have on your Ally. Yeah. But that's all the news I have.
Jazzy. Jacob, what you got?
It's my turn. Okay. All right. Unfortunately, we have a few deaths this week. Drew Struzan, who most people will know from doing movie posters for like Star Wars,
everything,
Goonies,
Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Indiana Jones.
Pretty much everything, but he also did do some video game art. If you remember the covers for Crimson Skies, High Road to Revenge, Spyro Spyro, A Hero's Tale, Star Trek: The Next Generation on Super Nintendo and Genesis, along with the movie tie-ins and spin-offs for Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Back to the Future. So he did the art for that. And Itagaki, the guy who essentially created the 2004 version of Ninja Gaiden and the Dead or Alive series, he also passed away this week.
What?
That one made me sad. Yeah, that happened just a couple days ago, I think.
It got announced this morning.
Yeah.
I did not hear about that. Shit.
Yeah.
Tomonobu Itagaki.
And he wasn't old either. I think he was only
58.
like 51. Oh, 58.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
So union workers at EA are rallying against the $55 billion private acquisition of the company and have filed a formal petition to regulators. So, and it appears that some members of Congress may actually be getting involved with this to step in to try to prevent the sale, because essentially they're just like, what video game company is not going to be owned, by the Middle East at this point?
Yeah.
So there's that.
Is it bad that I trust the Saudis more than Kushner?
No. I want to say yes, but no.
We know the Saudis have been evil, but they're trying to turn things around. Kushner is just a Nazi. That's never changing.
I mean, it's going to change eventually.
We can all hope.
Well, his mind
Any
isn't
other
going
news,
to change,
Jacob?
but he ages just like everyone else.
Greg Johnson, the creator of Toe Jam and Earl, says that a new game is on the planning stage.
Nice.
Okay.
So there was also a Disney Dreamlight Valley 2025 showcase stream on Wednesday, which, of course, I paid attention to. If you notice, these are the only showcase streams I ever watch. So
we need a theme song for.
You said this last time too,
and
you still didn't make one. You need to make one.
Let me see. We have
You talk too much. Homeboy, you never step.
That's rude.
How about?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. That is true.
Because it is
He does
Disney.
spend a lot of money on that, so fair.
I mean, it's about $30 a year.
Fuck money, baby. Fuck money, baby. Green and black. Green and black.
All right. So anyway, so I'm going to cover the free stuff first before starting to ramble about the upcoming paid DLC as well. So the free stuff.
Right, that's the last one.
Okay, good. So the Winter Ball comes out on December 10th. We're going to be getting Cinderella, and it's going to be obviously Cinderella themed with it. But there's also going to be a brand new feature called Dream Teams, where you're going to be able to join up to 7 other friends, and you're going to be able to have your own little Disney Dreamlight Valley community. And you're going to be able to share resources and work together towards completing crafts and tasks. And it's going to be invite only. So it's not you could just team up with randos, in lobbies and stuff like that. Right. It has to be people that, actually, I don't even know how you would grief in Dreamlight Valley, but anyway, it's only people that you can know. You can't you just can't magically drop in on people.
Nice.
All right.
I like that. That's cool.
You said there was a Winter Ball?
So there's that, and then they also laid out the other stuff that's going to be coming out.
More details on the ball? I was excited. What are you doing in the ball? Do they have dancing and shit? Music? What?
No,
you
just
want the ball, Joe? You want the ball? You want the ball?
Give me the ball. I want the ball.
So anyway, we good?
Yeah.
All right. So they also laid out an early roadmap for 2026. So at some point early on, we're going to be getting Lady and the Tramp. Then spring 2026, we're going to be helping preserve nature with a free-spirited adventurer. But they didn't say who. I'm assuming it's Pocahontas. And then
I was thinking Tarzan.
It was very much a forest theme, and they had a raccoon.
Forrest Gump.
Showing. And then in summer 2026, we're going to be getting Hercules.
Nice.
Hercules.
So there's that, and now on to Wish Blossom Ranch, which is the next paid expansion that's coming. This is the one where you're getting that huge horse ranch, and we're now going to be able to ride around on horses. So the big thing is that you're automatically going to be getting 3 horses right off the bat. Maximus from Tangled, Khan from Mulan, and Pegasus from Disney's Hercules. Now, if you buy the premium edition of the expansion, whatever you want to call it, you also get Sven from Frozen, which I was just like, oh my God. So there's that. And then we're going to be getting more characters. So we're getting Snow White, Tinkerbell, Cruella de Vil, and Tigger, which I was really caught off guard by. I mean, like, it had been hinted that we were going to be getting some Winnie the Pooh stuff, like, with this expansion, but I think we all expected it to actually just be Winnie the Pooh. So, yeah, it's cool that we're getting Tigger. I think that's everything. Yeah, okay, that's it.
Is that all the news you had, or?
Oh, throw on the movie watch thing.
So now you want sound effects played?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh my God, it's 10:40.
Talking.
It's movie watch. There.
Mortal Kombat 3 is already in development over at Warner Brothers.
You gotta be fucking kidding me!
Already? They're doing a third one?
Already. The movie got pushed from October of this year to May of next year after some really good test audience reviews, and so they moved it to become a summer movie, and now they're prepping a third one.
You need to watch the second one. The first one it had some good scenes. Overall, that was a mediocre as shit film. I need to watch the second one, see if it's any good.
It hasn't come out yet.
Oh, it hasn't? And they're already working on the third one? Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, like the second one comes out in May next year.
Oh, I thought you were meaning the third one was coming out in May of next year. Jesus.
Nope.
Well, cool. I hope it's better than the first one.
I mean, I didn't mind the first one. I thought it was all right. Like, I mean, what the hell was the new guy's name?
I don't know. I hated him.
Yeah, see, like that, like that's how memorable. Like I think he's supposed to be in the second one, but like he's definitely not the focus because it's Carl Urban as Johnny Cage that's the focus of the second one. So
nice.
I'm assuming that Mortal Kombat 3 will also be about Johnny Cage because why the hell not?
Fair.
So yeah, that's all my news.
All right. Should we dive into reviews, or does anyone have anything else to talk about?
Nope.
Let's go.
Nothing?
Go.
I gotta pee. Let's go.
Yeah, same.
Wait, how can you have the next review?
I know. I'm excited to get it over with so I can go pee.
Oh, I gotcha. All right.
Yeah, so Jacob, you go potty while me and Bri talk about this, and when we're done with this, you'll take over so Bri can go pee.
Normally we don't discuss our pee breaks on the air, but here we are.
Indeed. First game to talk about tonight, By Sweet Carole, developed by Little Sewing Machine and Meangrip Studios, published by Maximum Games. It released October 9th on Series X and S, Switch, PS5, and PC for $24.99. Set in the early 20th century England, as the suffrage movement begins to reshape society, young Lana Benton searches for her missing friend Carole Simmons. Her path leads her through Bunny Hall Orphanage and onto the mysterious kingdom of Corolla. Adam Corolla or Toyota Corolla? Which one? A place controlled by the sinister Mr. Kine or Mr. Kin, I don't know. The ruthless owl Valenia and swarms of ravenous tar bunnies. Sounds evil. Caught between two worlds, Lana must find a way to survive and uncover the dark truth behind Carole's disappearance. Bri and Aki, both of you played this. Bri, start us off so you could pee quicker. What is Bye Sweet Carole?
So, first of all, I have been excited about this game since the first blurb I saw mentioned of it. It's hand-drawn 2D animation, like old Disney animations, mixed with clock tower gameplay, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. This is also done in part by Chris Darrell, an Italian developer known for the Remothered series, that came with much acclaim, so I was curious how this would play. We are Lana, and we're searching for our missing friend Carole. We don't find out that she's missing for a little while, but we get into some other trouble first. This takes place in a world full of ash, tar, and coal. The industrial age of England, where women were fighting for their rights to vote. But we're spending most of our time in kind of the countryside in Bunny Hall. And when the game starts, we're not quite sure if we're still dreaming or wide awake. And Lana wakes up and the birds are still talking to her. So that's confusing. And our first task during tutorial pop-up time is to get a letter from Carole that was blown high into a tree. Total Wonderland moment when a rabbit with glasses steals the letter and runs away. So of course we have to follow and get into whatever trouble that means. Gameplay-wise, you have a side-scrolling game with elevations. Lana can climb on things, go up and down stairs. She can kind of jump when the prompt is there. But this isn't like a platformer until it is. Everything has a little prompt near it, even descending the stairs, despite the fact that you can do that without pressing anything. Most of, like, you press up on the stick to go up the stairs, or down on the stick to go down the stairs, or you use the left stick to move, left and right across the screen. You can run, but your run is dainty because everything about Lana is she's a young lady of that time, being raised to be proper in a dress and dainty shoes, not trampling through the forest like a lumberjack. She's very Snow White in the beginning and gathers her skirts in her hands to travel up the stairs and the hills. And yet Lana isn't like the other girls and isn't excelling at school being a proper lady. And we're often being chased by something or scrambling to overcome some dangerous cliff or disintegrating bridge or whatnot. And there are quick time events where you will need to button mash or match the circles, and there's very little warning which is which. But I appreciate the buttons being sizable on the screen. Sometimes your button pressing needs to match like a beat, or you'll run out of stamina while sweeping. If you move too fast across an unstable surface, it'll prompt a balance quick time, which I found really hard to manage. The game is also a little point and click. You have inventory with combinable objects, hotspots you can view or interact with, but instead of pointing, it's proximity based. So you'll walk by an object that is interactable in some way, whether you can view it with Y or you can interact with it or pick it up with X. And when you do pick up items in the world, like keys or whatever, you get this really cute little pop-up with like birds and flowers around it and like, little tweeting birds, like you picked up a key. It's very cute. There are puzzle elements to solve. You might not have all the pieces of the puzzle right at first, but eventually you'll get the cheese for the mousetrap and then get the owl to move, and then everything will run smoothly from then on out. Right?
You would think so.
And then to compare it a little to another game, it's very similar, if not inspired by Clock Tower gameplay. I just played Clock Tower Rewind about a year ago, and it seemed very inspired by. You don't really have a way to beat the enemy. You just have to run away or stealth around. Even the climbing over tall shells reminded me of Clock Tower in all the good ways. You can hide and even hold your breath, and the first time you do, the achievement is called Jennifer Style, which is a definite nod to Clock Tower. There's a lot of back and forth in parts of the game to solve the puzzles and explore the area, and sometimes it felt a little too much back and forth. Like in the basement, I also remembered I struggled down there not realizing that I could move a box for far too long because that was not covered in the tutorial directly. So I feel like an idiot, but anyway. There are chase sequences where you'll have to do some quick time platforming, for lack of better terms, and super cute, but the birds will help you during these cinematic scenes. They straight up grab Lana's dress and help her fly over gaps. It is total fairy tale, total Cinderella. And there are timed puzzles from time to time where you'll need to pull a lever and then run to catch a ladder. Just don't fall to your death while you're in a hurry, because yeah. There are sections where you control a bunny, and you have different controls like wall jumps. And that's all I'm going to say about controlling the bunny, because I don't want to ruin that part of the story for people. But it definitely makes gameplay more interesting. You can run and jump as the bunny. I feel like I'm not going to talk about the plot near as much as I'm talking about gameplay, because I just don't want to ruin the story.
Which is the correct answer.
Yeah. When you do die, and you will die, one of two things happens. You get a fairy tale repopulation with your dress falling to the ground with birds flying it down, and you refill it as it appears in a safe place. Or you get a quick restart at the beginning of the area, like a chase. If you do get stuck in a spot over and over again, there is a skip animation button that appears in the bottom right of your screen, so you don't have to watch the animations again and get frustrated. But there's an achievement for getting through a whole game without pressing the skip button, so maybe don't do that.
And for not dying, and for dying in every possible way.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that in a minute. And you can save at post boxes in the game. They are magical and glow and have roses on them. Otherwise, the game autosaves at strategic points as well. There are, I think, 10 chapters to the game and 8 save slots, so you'll have plenty of opportunities to do all your different runs and all your different things. But yeah, story-wise, there are spooky things afoot and a bigger story at play that I definitely don't want to ruin, as I mentioned. I might call this narrative horror mixed with fantasy. The atmosphere is dark in contrast to the bright bunny hall. I mentioned earlier, you weren't quite sure what was a dream and what was real, and those worlds start to blur together more and more as the game goes on. There are some tasteful jump scare elements, like shattering mirror out of nowhere, but at its core, I feel like the game expresses some of the deeper emotional context, like grief and the stress of being on the cusp of a changing world. And there's like some coming of age vibe subtext here too. So there's a lot going on with the story that's not just the story. The hand-drawn art is gorgeous, reminded me a little bit of Bluth animations at times, Disney princess animations at others, and it still came out with a unique style.
Unique.
The beginning is gorgeous flowers and butterflies. The game even presents things in a cinematic way with gentle zooms in and out of part of the scenery, where the game takes time to appreciate the view at times. Even in its darker moments, I thought the art was breathtaking. The narration and voice acting was excellent. I do have one small complaint in a related area, though. Often the subtitles were washed out against the background. It was white lettering on whatever background was available, and that included a white field of flowers at one point. So I had to rely on the narrator. So yeah, as Aki mentioned, there is an achievement for not dying in the whole game, and others for dying in various ways, or all the ways. Like I did my first chance while trying to balance on a cliffside. Just straight up died.
Nice. I drowned.
I haven't drowned yet. I'll have to work on that. And that'll take some time remembering whether to walk or run through certain areas to get through this game without dying. You might want to take your time and explore for 10 hours or more in your first run through for an achievement, and there's also a speed run in under 4 hours. So some fun stuff on the achievement list. But there were parts of the game that felt slow to me. A few places where the controls and prompts felt finicky. There were times I didn't quite get what I was supposed to do in a stealth section, and that was really frustrating. There was a patch today that caused some instability for me, and I dashboarded twice since the patch, but the patch did address a bunch of the finicky controls and some soft locks. I read the patch notes. And then they also are already working on the next patch for later this month, and it seems like they're really open to community feedback. But overall, I love this game, and I'm looking forward to my next playthrough to get the other achievements. Aki, what did you think?
I did not get anywhere near as far into it as you did, but I absolutely love the art style of this. It is fucking gorgeous. So I'm looking forward to actually finding some time to actually finish this game whenever that may actually be, whenever I have a break from gaming. But yeah, I need to try it since the patch, because I didn't realize there was a patch. I thought going up and down things was kind of finicky for me, because you would expect when you get close to things like steps, if you're going up, it tells you to push the up arrow, basically, and down to go the down arrow. But in lots of games, you can also just keep running that same direction that you were moving, and it'll automatically go up there. But and this game will allow you to do that, but it's kind of stilted if you do that. It stops, and it's like, oh, you didn't push up. You were supposed to push up. Okay, I guess you still wanted to go up. It's like, yeah, no shit, I wanted to go up, because it's the only way to go when I'm pushing this direction in the first place. And that kind of annoyed me, because that's just how I'm used to playing games. It's like, if you're going from the right to the left, if there's a stairway going up on the right and you're moving to the right, you just go up the stairs automatically. And when you're not automatically doing that and you have to change how you're pushing buttons, it ends up taking more time, which is going to really blow for things like the beat it in under 4 hours achievement, for instance. Because that's the first thing I look at is all the achievements before I start a game, just to know what I'm getting into. And I was like, okay, no deaths. Oh, all the deaths. All right, that'll be my first playthrough. 2 hours. That'll be my first playthrough. And I'm like, I'm going to see how complicated this is going to get for a 4-hour playthrough. And immediately in the very first area, it not just automatically moving you up and down the steps when you're moving the direction that they're in. I was like, oh, this is going to make getting under 4 hours actually hard for me, at least, because this is not how I'm used to controlling things.
There's sections of the game where you have to move slowly with intention to not knock down things that make noise, so that you don't end up running from the enemy, and creating, like, you have this whole stealth situation that you need to maintain, and that takes time. So,
speaking of time, y'all are out of it. This is a $25 game. I need some verdicts.
Yes, it's a buy it for me.
Buy it for me too. I think it's gorgeous. Totally for it.
Sounds good. Moving on, next game, Lethal Honor, Order of the Apocalypse, developed by Viral Studios, published by HandyGames, released October 7th on Series X and S, PS5, and PC for $24.99. This brutal and punishing roguelike game is set in an obscure world ravaged by an apocalypse. Fight your way through relentless battles and experience a story told through the lens of an 80s adult superhero graphic novel. Jacob, what is going on in Lethal Honor, Order of the Apocalypse?
So, Lethal Honor is this action RPG roguelite that... Do you want to die? Because you're going to die a lot. A lot.
Cool.
And the game is set on this island where scientists have been summoning these demons, but it's also this. They also make it so, like, the rooms are constantly moving and stuff like that. And so no two runs are theoretically going to be the same. Yeah. So you start off as this guy who like you're woken up out of cryostasis, you're this superhuman, like you're super smart, you're super strong, super handsome, and you have to like start cutting up all these demons while rescuing scientists, so you can guide them back to this like secure bunker area where they can hopefully contain the demons and get everyone off the island. But of course, because you're going to be dying a lot, don't get too attached to your character. And once your character dies, you get some other faceless, super soldier kind of guy, and you get your weapon. You get to the game gives you new powers every single time that you go through, and so one run you might have this like thing that like acts is kind of like a huge electrical bolt that just like spins in a circle for a bit. Another time you might get this robot that flies around with you. And then of course there are active and passive abilities, but this is really a hardcore one. So if like you're thinking like, it'll be like Vampire Survivors, I really enjoy something like that. First off, no, because it's not an auto shooter. Second, the game is just going to like just be prepared to fail a lot. You better be okay with like not only your character dying and everything going to hell, like it's fun, but it's also really frustrating because like you have scientists who like can get stuff updated and like upgrade your character and have permanent upgrades, but because you die so frequently and the game doesn't like preserve any of this, like any of the stuff that you gathered, or at least it doesn't seem like it does, it's just like you're gonna get to fully upgrade your guy every once in a while, and it just gets really friggin' frustrating because you will always have to face like an end boss. The end boss is going to kick your ass as you move through the story, which there is one. And I liked it, but this wasn't exactly my bag. Like it was more hardcore than I wanted it to be.
No. What did you think of the visual or the comic book style flair to the game?
I thought the art style looked nice to it, and like as you're going through different chapters, it gives like a different comic book cover for each area, and or each boss fight, I should say. And it looked nice. It definitely does make it stand out. But again, with like the gameplay style with it, I think that's going to be really what makes or breaks this game. For players, I should say. Because as I said, like this is a hardcore game. Like it's not your mom's roguelite.
Your mom? What?
It's not your mom's roguelite.
I know. I heard it. Any other comments on this one?
Not really. Like I thought it was good. Like, I thought it was difficult, but interesting. I think it's definitely worth checking out if you like this type of game.
Alrighty. Well, as I yawn, it is $24.99. What are your thoughts on Lethal Honor?
That feels a little steep on this. Like I would have expected this to be like a $15 game or so. Maybe there's like stuff within the cost that I don't realize with that kind of stuff. I would have pictured this more at like a 15 to 20. So maybe wait for a sale on it, but I still think it is worth checking out.
Cool. Next up, Spindle, developed by Wobble Ghost, published by Deck 13, released October 13th on Switch and Steam for $19.99. Spindle is an old-school action-adventure about death and the many ways we choose to deal with it. With your trusty pig by your side, Jacob, you have a starring role. You form a most curious team embarking on a quest to learn what it truly means to be death. Jacob, are you death too? Anyway, Aki, you covered Spindle. What is going on in Spindle?
Okay, so this is kind of a Metroidvania, and you play as this little dude, and you're going around collecting souls, because that is now your job. You are death. Enjoy. You have a talking pig that aids you by doing random stuff. Well, usually you might find like a little hole that he can go climbing into and popping up on the other side to open doors for you and stuff like that. Most of the time he's just there as comedic relief to watch him get knocked off of platforms to his death and stuff like that. At least that's been a majority of what I've enjoyed with him anyways. And yeah, you basically go into different dungeons in order to find a person's soul, because it has been separated from their body, even though they're not supposed to be, so that you can collect them and put them into a portal where all the dead souls go. So all these people were supposed to die, so that's not a problem. The only problem is that their souls aren't in their body where they're supposed to be. So that's nice. There's each dungeon gives you a bunch of enemies to fight, a whole bunch of puzzles to solve. Lots of it is pretty basic. Like in the last dungeon that I was in, you had to get things onto conveyor belts in order to basically hide behind rocks and stuff from steam coming out that would push you off of the conveyor belt to your death. Very simplistic. Push something to where it's in front of that stuff. The end. Not complicated. So yeah. The combat is pretty fun. You got a whole bunch of normal enemies that are basically every fucking where inside and outside of dungeons. The only places they aren't is in the cities, the safe areas basically. And, you know, they range from just wild boars to little asshole birds that decide they're gonna come off of trees and come and swipe at you because they're little jackasses, stuff like that, little basic things. And you use your scythe to kill the shit out of them. It doesn't give you anything for killing them, it just prevents you from constantly dying to them. That's all it does. So be prepared for that. And yeah, each dungeon you're in gives you a new ability, basically. The first one that you go into actually gives you the ability to fight in the first place. It gives you your scythe. The second one gives you the ability to turn organic matter into rocks, which is interesting, and it's required for the boss fight, as well as to get into some of the various other areas in the game, because all of your abilities basically are not just combat related, but also traversal. Ooh, fun! And yeah, it's a pretty straightforward game. It's linear in so much that you can't get into places until you've obtained abilities, but it's not so linear that it's easy to find where you're supposed to go, because you have this big-ass map, and it's kind of crap, because it's like basically a world map, and it shows where you and your pig are, but it doesn't like zoom into the area, so you can't like figure out where the fuck you're going. I have gotten lost in different places so many times because I'm like, I don't know what direction I've gone at this point, because I've tried lots of different directions from here. I am so confused as where I'm supposed to go, which seems to be a big problem in this game, just in general for me. It is hard for me to figure out where I'm supposed to go, like even just to like find the next soul, which is the main campaign part. I'm like, I don't exactly know where it is. You're told once and never again. Like I was told, oh, it's east. Okay, there's a lot of east. that doesn't. Every screen basically has a fucking east. Where? Information, motherfucker. And that's kind of a problem in the game. Is there's no information to be had, man. You just go east, you find it. Eventually, probably, hopefully.
Oh no, you have to look for things.
Yeah, it's a pain. I'm a sheltered gamer now. I have played on Xbox so long that I'm used to being handheld. I need a map that tells me, "Hey, this is where you go, stupid." Because then I understand. Stupid is as stupid does, and stupid does need to get to where it needs to go. Okay? Yeah.
Well, it's on Switch, so being on console doesn't mean anything.
Does Switch not have fucking mini-maps on it too? Exactly.
Of course it does.
Mini-maps.
I don't know why you said I play on Xbox. Like, what does that matter? Everything has mini-maps, just not this game.
Well, I don't play on Switch. I'm not going to think of saying, "Oh, Switch." I play on Xbox. That's why I think Xbox. But yeah, so it could stand to use a mini-map. That would be very nice, just to help me figure out where the hell I'm going. Because Joe's being a twat. And yeah, otherwise, it's really nice. I like the combat. Not everything can just be beaten up by, stabbing at it with your scythe. Like, for instance, in one of the areas, there are creatures that are on fire. If you get close to them, you can't damage them. But if they touch you, they're going to set your ass on fire. And it hurts like a motherfucker. So you have to figure out which one of your abilities is going to be able to be used to basically take this creature out of the fight. For instance, one of your abilities is you could hit like a cactus that's around that shoots water out, and that puts it out and kills it. Or you could just, it's a living creature, you could just turn it to fucking stone and never have to deal with it again. Or take that stone and push it into lava so it dies, or whatever, there's plenty of ways to deal with problems. And that makes the combat actually really fun. The pig is cute.
Nice.
And that's about all there is to say about that, sadly, because I do not have any abilities that use the pig yet.
The pig could wear a hat.
I've seen hats around. Oh, how do I pick? I'm going to have to figure out how to pick up hats, because I have seen a number of hats around, and I have tried to interact with them, because I was hoping I could take them to wear for my character, but now knowing the pig can wear hats, I'm sure somehow it's for the pig, and now I have to figure out how to do it. Oh my god, that's going to be so cute.
All right, $20 on this one. If you buy it by the 27th, you could get it for 15% off, which takes it down to $16.99. But for $19.99, what is your verdict on Spindle?
Not too bad. I think it's worth getting at that price. I think that's very doable.
Jazzy. Next up, Nocturnal Whispers, developed and published by FMV Interactive, released October 10th on Xbox One and Series X and S for $14.99. Step into the shoes of a psychoanalyst and embark on a gripping journey of psychological drama. A woman plagued by recurring nightmares seeks your help. You must delve into her subconscious, deciphering strange and haunting symbolism to uncover the hidden truths buried within and solve the mystery behind her dreams. Jacob, Bri, Aki, I think everybody played this. Jacob, start us off. What's going on in Nocturnal Whispers?
So Nocturnal Whispers is an FMV game, full motion video. And so...
Wait, are you going to tell me the game made by FMV Interactive is an FMV game?
Yeah, that is what we're saying.
Makes sense. All right, I'll let it slide.
All right, so...
I like that I make a joke like that and I completely derail Jacob starting a review.
Yeah, that's not that hard to do. So if you want to think about it, it's like an interactive movie. And in this, much like FMV's other two previous titles, which had members of the Star Trek Voyager cast on it, this time we've got Felicia Day. So you might know her
Yay!
from Sandri, Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
The Guild.
Yeah, the Guild. She was on Buffy too, wasn't she?
Yes, she was. She was in the final season of Buffy.
Okay. And
From my
so,
dreams.
anyway, so she plays this woman who has been plagued by this reoccurring nightmare for like the last 8 months, and she really wants some help deciphering what the heck is going on in this dream. And it's kind of bizarre, but like as you get towards the end, it like kind of makes sense. But instead of doing just like a straight conversation about this, what you're going to do is that there's going to be a bunch of topics that you're going to discuss with her, and you have to like kind of like match, and match these two subjects and see if there's any kind of connection that brings anything to it. And so like it might be like, yeah, like, and so like, because you're going to bring up a bunch of stuff that happened during this dream. And so it's just like, all right, so there was a grizzly bear and Santa. Like, what do you think might be a connection between that? Oh, well, wintertime and like kind of like that kind of stuff. And then like eventually you might get into school and family and travel. And eventually, and I don't know if the dev did this on purpose, like doing research on us, or if this was just like a random thing. Did we lose somebody?
Nope. We gained somebody.
We gained somebody. Okay. And so I don't know if it was doing research on Joe and I, but it turns out her character is actually from Scranton, which I was just like, huh.
Why?
Interesting. Why does anybody come from Scranton? Like,
is she a fan of The Office?
Well, funnily enough, that never gets brought up. Like, lots of nerd stuff does get like name dropped in there, like Star Wars, Star Trek.
I thought you were going to say something about Scranton got name dropped in there.
Well, I mean, Scranton.
I'm going to see the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons later tonight.
Well, see, like that was the thing, and like, because I was just like, okay, she's going to talk about Scranton. Let's see how much of a deep dive we're going to be going in with this, because Joe and I used to live in the area, so I mean, and she actually brings up like some local legends and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, I found it weird that certain things got right, but other things just like got absolutely missed on that you'd figure that somebody from Scranton would have brought up. Like, especially with like the character's age, and like stuff that had happened up in Nipa's like past, like especially like Hurricane Agnes, and like all the ghost stories that like are about that. And so, yeah, it was like kind of interesting, like, because I was like, I'm a local. No, this is not believable. Not believable in the slightest.
Well, let's hear from some people who aren't local. Bri or Aki, why don't you chime in?
So this reminded me
a crush on Felicia Day,
yes,
and that's about as much as I have to say on this. I did not get very far.
Bri,
into this
why don't you chime in?
Okay, so this reminded me a little of like a lower budget Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker from Devecchi Studios. Sadly, it goes to a separate screen to make our choices of the two topics we're going to have a video about. Instead of staying on the actors, which took me out of the movie aspect of the game a little bit. There isn't a lot of action to the game. It's just monologues done by Felicia Day sitting on a couch. And the only mystery to solve is what caused her dream. And the game has some darker tones to it, like dealing with death in childhood. And once you've unlocked all the choices, eventually you can make the right combination of things to give a big reveal. And while not shocking, it was still a little bit of a doozy. Overall, I like this one. This isn't one where you appreciate the scenery and cinematography, though. It's not even like a really good one to stream because your choice points aren't there.
Aki's
There's
going to be
tons
mad
of-
that you don't consider Felicia Day good scenery.
Oh, well, I do consider
She
her
is
to
the
be
best.
good scenery. All right. Well, there's tons of pop culture references like Star Trek and Funko Pops. So many pop culture references. And in a lot of cases, the conversation seemed just completely natural coming out of Felicia Day because it was also nerdy. Yeah.
So going back to like being taken out of it, that was something that happened regularly for me with this game, and it was interesting because the two previous games from this dev, I had commented that it was just like, oh well, it's really straightforward, and like there's really only like
linear.
one or two different things. There are tons. I mean, it's like, I think it's like 20 different subjects in all, but like, of course you can match each one with another one
there's
just
a
to
lot
get
of videos.
right. And so like, it's gotta be like 200, 300, like hell, it's gotta be more than that of, how many possible videos are in this thing. And so that is going to get pretty time consuming. And so if you're not like a big fan of like, like the Doodle God or Doodle Devil or those like kind of games, then you're going to be like, all right, where the hell are we going with this kind of thing?
I will say that they did a good job of shading out ones that you've already made combinations together
Oh
of.
my gosh, that was so
that
helpful.
was really helpful.
Yeah, that was very nice because that's honestly something that drives me nuts about the Doodle God series. But one of the things that I thought kind of took me out of it is that it's because there's no like actual real linear progression and you're just watching clips. So like you might match something and like Felicia's character is like crying in that scene, but then you're just like, oh, well, what about toys and like the schoolyard and stuff like that? And then she's back to being this like happy, bubbly kind of thing. And it's just like, I get it.
Continuity is weird.
Yeah. Like the continuity is weird. And like, on one hand, I don't really quite fault the dev on it because it's just like with something like this, I didn't really consider like how massive of a thing this was going to be. But but it's just like at the same time, like I wanted there to be like some level of continuity with talking to like, it's just like, she's not just going to flip a switch. And like, seem like happy and like, oh, Funko Pops, my mom died. But I really enjoy Star Trek. Like, it's just like it got weird. And like part of me would have liked to have seen like you only have like so many rounds that you're able to like, or like some sort of like stress meter where it's just like, either you're going to have a breakthrough or she's just going to be like, I'm done for today or something like that. And then like, you just have to like pick it up next week or something like that.
Puppies.
Yay!
Kittens.
And like, yay!
Dead mother.
Yay!
Wait.
But it's just like, the problem with it is that it eventually feels like, I mean, because you're doing this for so long during this thing. Like, I mean, you're going to be playing, like, unless you look up a guide, which there is one, you're going to be doing this for like 3 or 4 hours if you really want to try to get it done. And by the end of it, you're really feeling like you just want to, like, you just have to brute force this thing. To figure out like what the heck, like where you really need to be going with this. And I really thought it was an interesting concept. Like I just would have shown there could have been tweaks to make it like play like sessions of this therapy thing shorter for it to like make sense or like continuity to go along with it. Yeah, I don't like, and I do have like one other gripe about this. And warning, this is going to be a spoiler. Okay.
How bad of a spoiler?
No,
we don't want to give anything away.
Okay. it has to do with the ending. Like,
well, then no, you're not going to mention it.
No. I like, because it's something that has to be discussed. Okay. Because the thing is that like you are playing the role of the therapist who's talking to Felicia Day, but then at the end of it, like when her character has her breakthrough and all this kind of stuff, she blames herself for everything that had happened. And the thing is that any therapist worth their salt would have been like, we're not going to jump to those kind of conclusions. You don't know that. And that's not fair to yourself, blah, 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 blah. Instead, the therapist is just kind of like, oh, yeah, let's hug it out. Yeah, like...
She did say it wasn't her fault.
At the very end, I don't recall that being said at all.
I do remember that.
Okay. I don't know. I felt like the ending felt very... It didn't feel right. It didn't sit right with me. But
$15, need a verdict.
If you're into FMV games, or if you're into that like kind of like Doodle God kind of stuff, yeah, I'd recommend checking this out. I mean, like there isn't a lot of FMV games out nowadays, beside what FMV Interactive and Wales Interactive do.
Yeah.
And so I'm always for seeing more of these kind of titles. And I really hope that the game dev like keeps doing these and is successful at these, because it's just like, as I said, like I'm realizing like, oh man, like there is a lot that really goes into these kind of games. And the fact that like they tried to switch it up, with some new gameplay to go into it, like I really do appreciate that, and I really want them to keep going on this. Is it the best out there? No, but do I want to see more? Yes.
For me, the price feels a little steep when compared to something like, say, Dead Reset that I reviewed a couple weeks ago at the same price. But you're paying for Felicia Day in this, so I can kind of let that slide. It's not a bad price, but the game isn't that long and it doesn't have a ton of replayability for different endings and things.
How does it compare to Truth or Vegas Tales, if you've remembered those?
It feels like better quality to me.
This is better.
Both of those, yeah. You can see an improvement in their body of work, and that I appreciate. So I'm going to give it a try it, especially if you like Felicia Day, I'll give it a buy it.
All right.
I'll give it a buy it just because it has Felicia Day in it.
Exactly.
Next.
I really like Felicia Day.
Next up, Ball Cross Pit, or Ball X Pit, or Ball Pit. I don't fucking know. Developed by Kenny Sun, published by Devolver Digital, released October 15th. Series X and S, Xbox PC, Switch, PS5, and normal PC for $14.99. Coming this fall to the Switch 2. Ball Pit is a brick-breaking, ball-fusing... balls. Balls! We know where this is going, right? Ball Pit is a brick-breaking, ball-fusing, base-building, survival roguelite. Batter hordes of enemies with ricocheting balls and gather the riches of the pit to expand your homestead, generate resources, and recruit unique heroes. Horror Acolyte, you're joining us to cover this one. What is going on in Ball Pit?
So, this game has a really minimalistic story. It starts off with the glorious towering city of Balbalon, which has fallen to a large asteroid, another ball, where the city once stood as a giant hole that treasure seekers are looking to pilfer. Ball Pit is an almost evolution of the brick breaker genre. It's comprised of two main components, twin stick shooter combat and some base building mixed into a slightly roguelite format. You select a character to delve deeper into the pit, kill enemies to level up your character and get loot, come back to your base to harvest resources, and rebuild Balbalon to even further enhance your adventures. You have one character to start in the game, the warrior class. You get 16 in total to unlock. You unlock more characters by progressing through levels, finding blueprints, and expanding your city. Each character has different scores for their key attributes, starts with a different special ball, and has specific traits that can alter their players. Alter their playstyle to varying degrees. The 6 main attributes in the game are endurance, strength, leadership, speed, dexterity, and intelligence. You can view a more detailed breakdown for each of those stats to see what attributes they each affect. For example, your leadership score affects your baby ball count and damage output, and speed affects not just your character move speed, but also the ball speed as well. So essentially, for the combat portion of the game, you're traveling down a vertical lane with enemies spawning in on stone square pieces, almost like chess pieces. Some enemies take up more than one space, and these enemies are continually moving down the lane towards you. Your character takes damage if enemies touch you or hits you with a projectile of some sort, like arrows or fireballs. When an enemy reaches the end of the lane, you'll see an exclamation point above them. During this time, you have a brief window to kill the enemy before they automatically deal damage to you and killing themselves in the process, except for bosses who will just stay at the end of the lane and continually attack you. As enemies continue to spawn in, there will be a meter on the side of the screen that slowly fills up throughout the course of the rounds, essentially, with 3 checkpoints on it. When a checkpoint is reached, the lane expands, allowing more enemies to spawn in, along with a mini-boss. Then, at the end of the final checkpoint, there's a more traditional boss fight. You can freely move your character around the lane using twin-stick controls to fire balls into the lane, bouncing off enemies and walls alike, dealing damage to each one hit. Once you move close to a ball you fired, your character automatically collects it and starts to fire it again. You can choose to have manual control over your shots or set your gun to auto-fire, which I feel like is probably the better way to play it, but there are some situations where you're like, oh, I kind of wish I had been able to control that a bit more. So you can manually do it on the fly, though, so if you're quick with the reflexes, you might be able to monopolize on that a bit. Slain enemies will drop experience gems. When you level up, you get a temporary increase to random attributes for your character. You also get to select from among 3 upgrades, either new balls, new passive skills, or leveling up a ball or skill you've already acquired, each of which can max out at level 3. You do have the option to reroll your available choices if you have gold, and eventually get the option to banish a few choices from appearing during your current run. I should also note that foes can drop gold, health pickups, and building blueprints, with a limited number of blueprints able to be found in each area. Some pretty neat special balls can be unlocked. You got like the Ghost Ball, for example, that travels through all enemies on the field, damaging each one. Balls that leave damage over time effects, like the Bleed, Poison, or Burn balls. Most balls that leave a lingering ailment or damage effect of some sort represent this visually on the enemies as well. Like bleeding enemies have blood splattered all over their pieces, or burning enemies are lit on fire. Frozen enemies become solid ice. The visual effects for those I thought were pretty well done. Most of the passive skills provided for the characters have some type of like static bonus, so like increases to ball speed, damage, or crit chances. Some slightly more uncommon ones, like effigies, will let you occasionally spawn in your own pieces that fight for you and push back enemies, or a ghost cloak item that turns all your balls into ghost balls until they hit the back of the arena. There's also random power-ups you can get that drop from fallen foes, like the fission power-up, which randomly levels up balls or skills 1 to 5 times. Each leveled up ball or skill increases in damage output, or just generally becomes more effective at whatever it was doing. A fusion upgrade can also be found, and this allows you to take 2 fully leveled balls and form them into one ball with both properties and combined damage output of the previous one. Fusions can get pretty crazy. For example, if you have like the bleed ball that puts a bleed stack on things, if you combine that with like the laser ball that hits all enemies in a row or column, then you now have a ball that hits them all and also casts a bleed on all of them at the same time. So yeah, there's some really awesome combinations to find. Lastly, there's the evolution upgrade. This combines 2 fully upgraded balls into a new, more powerful ball with different abilities. There are specific combination of balls needed to achieve an evolution. You can't just randomly combine any 2 balls. If you do unlock an evolution, once it will appear on the kind of like the description section of the balls, so you'll be able to see which ones you need to form a specific ball. That way you don't have to memorize them all, although it is kind of handy to know which ones you're searching for. Like the ice ball and laser ball, for example, combine to form a freeze ray, or the rock and burn balls combine to form a magma ball. Once you end a run with your character, they level up, permanently increasing certain attributes. On certain level ups, you'll also get an upgrade that helps you with town building. You then also bank your extra resources that you found in the pit, like gold and wheat, for example. So after the combat portion is done, you head to your home base, New Babylon, and you start out with a small 4x3 plot of land. And this is essentially where you start building up your city, and then you can put down resource tiles, which come in the form of wheat, wood, or stone. You get to shoot your characters once per day. They run across the tiles essentially and like harvest all the resources they run past or touch, and they bounce off walls and buildings to cover more ground. And the more you expand your city, the more they're kind of just running around, bouncing off things, collecting the resources. So you can expand your city by purchasing additional plots of land using gold. Tiles can be upgraded for your resources to provide additional resources per harvest. You can also reposition for a more optimal layout or dismantle pieces to recoup some of your resource costs. You also get the option to place buildings, which help you unlock new characters. There's also ones that apply attribute upgrades to all your characters or make leveling up more efficient. You also have the option to assign people to buildings to harvest resources for you. To activate the buildings, you need to spend some resources to purchase them and then place them, and then you have to have your characters hit them a certain number of times for them to become functional. To unlock new levels in the game, you need to collect gears from killing bosses. These gears enhance an elevator that you have that allow you to delve deeper into the pit. Killing bosses will also allow you to unlock a blueprint for a trophy building that gives you stat bonuses for each character you've completed that level with, along with additional bonuses for each difficulty you beat the level on with the same character. Once you complete a level on a new difficulty with any character, it unlocks the next tier for all characters. I'm not sure how many difficulty levels there are total, but I had at least 5 that I found. I'm sure there's at least 1 or 2 more past that. The only real difference between the tiers is the time for each level. So on the starting tier, you get 15 minutes before you reach the final boss. But for each subsequent difficulty tier, that amount is lowered, making the enemies spawn in faster, essentially, because it's not changing the amount that spawned. They're spawning quicker. Each level has a somewhat distinct feel, like you have the boneyard with skeleton warriors and archers, a desert with scarabs and worms that go underground and attack from below, or a forest filled with mushroom wizards that cast spore magic on you, essentially poisoning you, I think, and slowing you down with some of their attacks. Some levels also have hazards, like the desert with sand pits that slow you down when you cross them, or sheets of ice on the snow level that speed you up when you cross them. Each boss is thematic to the level they're on and takes up a good portion of the screen. Like the the crypt has a giant skeleton king that has only its torso left and it like crawls towards you with its bony arms. Or there's a snake boss. I like this skeleton boss. It's like the first one you see in the game. It sets a good tone. There's the stone snake boss in the desert that shoots toxic projectiles as you slowly destroy layers of stone coils, and that triggers new attacks for the serpent. Most bosses utilize some semi-bullet hell style attacks, along with spawning in additional minions. The more levels you complete, the more special balls and passive skills you have available to select from in each level. Enemies also become more challenging as you dig deeper into the pit. Some even having multiple layers to their tiles, giving them more durability. So you have like one character that's like stacked up on like 6 or 7 tiles, and you like keep bulleting them away before it disappears. So this game is definitely about the incremental progression. So you're slowly getting stronger as you level up characters and expand your city, and unlocking new characters to revisit previous levels to get more trophy bonuses by completing them on multiple difficulties, in turn being able to take on higher difficulties and new levels. There is pretty good variety in the character playstyles and builds, like the cohabitants, for example, are a pair of characters. They'll fire like double balls from like mirror directions, but deal half damage for each ball. Or you have like the Shade, that's an assassin character. He has his cursor at the top of the screen, which takes a while to get used to. And so he's firing his balls behind where the enemies spawn, and you're attacking them from the back the entire time. So yeah, combined with those, with the experimenting with like different combinations of special balls and optimizing fusions, with utilizing your character's specific traits, finding out like the optimal combinations is like a blast. I had a great time trying to figure out for a number of them. There is the downside of it kind of feeling a bit slow and repetitive at times, so the pacing might be a bit of a chore for some people. And I think the only negative thing I have to say about this game is people who have like stimulus overload with like so many balls on the screen at once, combined with like later levels with enemy projectiles. Like there's a lot going on. I found it was pretty reasonable, at least at the level I was at, where I was able to kind of keep track of like what the enemies were firing over like my own projectiles and balls. So it might vary for other people for sure. But yeah, other than that, game's got a great soundtrack, solid visuals. This will probably make my top 10 for the year, I think.
Cool. It is $14.99. What do you think?
Easy buy it. No questions asked.
Very good. Any final thoughts?
No, I might, like I said, it might be intimidating with the stimulus overload, but I know it's on Game Pass, so at the very least, if you have that, definitely worth checking out and trying, see if it's for you. But yeah, if you have any inclination to think you might enjoy this, go for it. It's a great game.
Very good. Next up, MotoTrials, developed and published by Proud Arts, released October 10th on Series X and S, PS5, and PC for $14.99. Disoriented, you wake up locked in a shipping container. If your name is Jacob, you will never get out. A 100% physics-based dirt bike game designed to break the human spirit or prove it's still alive. Jacob, you talk about this one while I go tinkle time. Have fun.
Tinkle time. Okay. So, MotoTrials, I'm going to be honest, I thought that this was going to be one type of game, and it turns out it's not really a whole nother, but it's very much like Trials. If you remember.
What did you think it was going to be?
So, I thought it was just going to be like a physics-based dirt bike game where, you just fuck around on like various tracks and like that's it. Like, I mean, I've been playing these games since I was a kid. There was a game called Dirt Bike 3.1 on the Mac, where like you could, like fuck with like your wheel size and like what you like, how fast your engine was, all that kind of stuff. And you could also like create tracks. I thought it was going to be something like this. And yeah, as Joe said, your character wakes up in a shipping container and you have to figure out how the hell to get out of the shipping container. And I'm not going to lie, I had an inkling of what it takes to do it, but it took me a full 20 minutes to get the fuck out of that container. And like, I kicked myself as soon as like I finally got it done. But once you do, you're off to the races. And not actual races, because you are this guy who has to escape. I'm not sure what the hell you're trying to escape. It's really bizarre because at some points you were in this dark and dreary, like high security, like base shipping yard thing. And you have to like avoid traps, and there's going to be all these kind of puzzles. That is going to be a lot of trial and error with this. And then you also have these scenes where you're riding around on your motorcycle or dirt bike, whatever the heck it is, and you're just enjoying like the scenery. But yeah, so as I said, it's going to be a lot of trial and error. You're going to die. There are saw blades. There are landmines. There are there's robots that will like just straight up shoot you. There's flamethrowers. There's lasers. There's anti-gravity wells. Like, it's really bizarre, all the different stuff. And it's more puzzles based than like motorcycle simulator kind of thing. And there are parts where you're on foot. There's parts where you're on your bike, and you have to figure out how you're going to get to the next part. And all the while you're opening up these like little chests of treasures, which will pop achievements for you. But yeah, it's just like, it's a bizarre, like, it's just a really bizarre, fun physics ragdoll game.
I have a question.
Okay, sure.
Do you know what warrants what is in the game or how the game operates that warrants a mature 17 and up rating for it?
Blood and you die.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
intense.
it's not. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd say that it's intense, but like, your body blows up.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not like realistic, like Call of Duty kind of stuff. It's very much ragdoll, like your leg just went off in like one direction, you were like your head and torso went off in another one, kind of stuff, because you landed on like a landmine, or like you landed at the wrong angle on your bike, and so everything just explodes around you, like that kind of stuff to get an M rating.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really fun trying to figure out like how to get to the next step, and like once you do, you really do have like a sense of achievement that makes you want to keep going. And currently I am stuck in the game, but like I'm having a blast playing it. Like this is going to be one that sticks on my Xbox for a bit. I just honestly wish it didn't take me so fucking long to figure out how to get out of the shipping container.
Did you mention how long it took?
Yeah, I did. Do you need me to mention it again?
No, I'm proud of you.
Okay, thank you.
$15. What do you think?
Absolutely. Like this is one to not sleep on. Like I really enjoyed this one, and I think our listeners will too.
Very good. Also very good is the fact that the Steelers took a lead with 2 minutes left in the game.
Hell yeah.
Their first lead all night that I know of. So, yay. Yeah. Next up, Arcade Archives 2 BATTLANTIS, developed and published by HAMSTER, released October 9th on Series X and S, Switch 2, and PS5 for $9.99. BATTLANTIS is a shooter released by Konami in 1987. The objective is to defend your castle from an invading army of monsters. You must defeat all the enemies before they climb the castle walls. Only the young creepy, I'm not trying that name, can save the sacred island of Atlantis. Go forth and drive back the evil monsters. Jacob, what's going on in BATTLANTIS?
So BATTLANTIS is a take on Space Invaders. Essentially, you are this guy who's defending this castle from this invading army, and you have to shoot like your arrows or whatever the heck they are at the invading army, who will move back and forth. What in the crap did you post in the chat?
The store link.
What the hell store?
It has a bunch of Japanese symbols in it, so it's just like percent E3, percent BC, percent E3.
Good lord.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay. Anywho, so the invading army like moves left, like from left to right, and like eventually keeps moving down. You have to shoot them, and much like Space Invaders, there is this guy with a cart that like drives by, and like if you shoot it, then you get power-ups which either help or I did find some of the power-ups actually hindered me, because I would have this like weapon that would just be like and just blowing up everything really awesomely, and then all of a sudden I'd get these like little rings that were like pew pew and like did nothing. And it was just, oh gosh. And then as you go through, you have these bosses that you have at the end of each level that you have to take down while you're hiding behind like the little areas of your castle. And as you're doing this, there will be like these monsters that will run up the side, and you have to take them out before they start scaling the castle wall, because if they get to the top, then obviously you're dead, because, much like Space Invaders, is a one-hit kill kind of thing. Yeah, it is tough as hell.
It's an arcade
I thought it was
game.
like
they always were.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Aquajet wasn't that tough, but anyway. So this one, it's definitely made to eat your quarters. It's hard as hell. I liked the idea of the update behind this. Like, I thought it was pretty interesting, and I've never heard of this game before, which really seems to be like, what's happening with the Arcade Archives thing, and I'm just like, hell yeah, man, bring them on. Like,
I mean, they have put out a couple hundred games now, so.
Well, whatever, man.
Yeah. $10 verdict.
Yeah, definitely. As always, as I say every week, I always support what Hamster Corp and Arcade Archives do with this program, and yeah, support it so we can get more weird ass arcade games out there.
Cool. Next up, Captured, developed and published by Perp Games, released October 6th on the Series X and S for $6.99. Explore procedural generated endless hallway filled with unusual phenomena and ever-changing rooms. Caught in a never-ending loop, leaving the house only leads you right back into the same hallway. Plunged in complete darkness room after room, your once familiar home feels increasingly alien. Captured is an analog horror game where you capture anomalies on camera to escape what seems to be an endless hallway in your own home, investigate mysterious phenomena, survive frightening entities, and reach the end of the hallway. Guess you gotta go pee that bad, right? Bri, Aki, Jacob, everyone covered this. Bri, start us off. What's Captured?
So this is another Spot the Anomaly game. In this, you memorize the details of the hallway and check it for changes. And this one is definitely more horror focused. The game has 5 difficulty modes from safe to insanity. On safe, you'll have deadly creatures removed and only large object-typed anomalies, making it easier to see. And then as you ramp the difficulty up, they'll increase the number of anomalies you need to find each loop, or spending too much time in a loop will decrease your sanity. Creatures will spawn more frequently, stuff like that. And then you have to unlock levels above normal when you start the game. So you can't just go straight to hard. You have to actually complete the game on normal to get to hard, and so on through insanity. This is procedurally generated loops of the hallway, and there are 99 unique to find, giving it a huge variety. It comes with an intro story of some old video of a teenager trying to capture some phenomenon going on in the house. Armed with a flashlight and a video camera, we have to explore the house. Our first run will have no anomalies, just a hallway and several rooms to explore and memorize. And in the run, you'll be able to search like a bedroom review, a bathroom, a kitchen, the laundry room, side tables and photos in the hallway, stuff like that. It was a lot more than I was expecting for this kind of game, honestly. Once you go through your first loop, you need to capture, hence the name, your anomalies on camera. And you hold a button to zoom and then A to capture on the camera. When you hold A to capture, a menu will come up on the left with the type of anomaly it is, like an object anomaly, electronic, lighting, water, missing or deformed rooms. And then you can also clear a section once you've made it. You also have to worry about battery life on your camera. You can find batteries hidden throughout the house that don't count as anomalies. It's a little RNG, but if you run out of battery before your run is over because you can't capture, your run's over because you can't capture an anomaly with a dead camera. The best you can do is hope that you already have everything in that loop and run to the exit and try and find batteries in the next loop. If you are prone to motion sickness, there are settings involving the flashlight and the Dutch angle that you can change to make it better. The object of the game is to correctly find 13 anomalies and get out. Once you finish a loop, it locks them in. There is a counter on your screen that lets you know where you're at. So, there are up to 3 anomalies per loop, I think. And if you miss an anomaly or incorrectly identify one, your counter will reset and you'll have to start over. The lights have all disappeared in your house, so lighting anomalies are really easy to spot. Other object anomalies are things like the dresser and its decor up on the ceiling. And there's no way out. All the exterior windows and doors are gone, so that's not an anomaly. That's just part of the hallway once you start your run. There's a voice from an entity that'll ask you if you're lost or if you're sure about your anomalies, making it good and creepy. Speaking of creatures and entities, different ones have different patterns or conditions to them. Ones you can't look at directly, another one you need to shine a light on it or it'll get you, and the other you can hide from by closing a door and waiting for the static to go away. I highly recommend headphones. There are audio cues like the washer being on or water coming out of a faucet that are much easier to spot if you can hear it. Plus, there's some other fun like jump scares if you have the audio on. And I felt like the audio was really well done. The realistic graphics were good. It's like a first-person walking with a 90s video camera filter because you're trying to film the loops. What do you guys think?
I think the Steelers are going to lose because they gave up a field goal with 7 seconds left.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Jacob, what do you think about the game?
Hard.
So I actually didn't get very far in the game because this is the first time. What?
I said because you're bad?
Yes.
No,
Okay.
because my Xbox gave me the warning message that it was overheating and it had to force quit the game, and it did it twice during this game. This is literally the only time that I have ever seen that error message pop up on my Xbox, and I've owned this thing for how many years now? 3?
Might need to clean it.
Yeah, time to get it cleaned and get some new.
All right, but the thing is that this is the only, as I said, this is the only game. I've played tons of other games, and I still do. This is the only one that's ever brought that up.
Yeah,
that's how
probably time.
That's how it started. Yeah, that's how it started for me, where it was just like one game, and it was only ever that game, and then it became a bigger problem.
That's the problem with me and all the Ubisoft games as of late, how they don't play very well on my Xbox. So, yeah, it's doing the same thing. You just need to take it in and get it cleaned. It'll be fine.
Steelers lost. Aki, what are your thoughts on Captured?
This thing is fucking hard, but I'm also blind. This was not a fair competition between us. It's like saying, hey, yeah, let's see who can run up these stairs. Put the paraplegic person in there. That's mean. You're mean. Why did you hand me this? This was cruelty. You're a dick.
Any other comments on the game?
I thought this was a really good Anomaly game. It's top on the achievement list because of the RNG and the difficulty-based ones as well. But this is one of the most quality Anomaly games I've ever played. And I've played quite a few now. I could personally do without the creatures, though, and you can play this on safe mode and avoid them. So, yeah.
But you can't get all the achievements if you do that.
No, and so far I have not beat normal mode. I've only beat safe mode. Normal mode proved to be pretty tough with the entities randomly showing up, and you have to learn their different patterns. Like I mentioned, that's rough.
Yeah, I'm never beating this game. There's just not a chance in hell. I'm gonna be lucky if I beat it on safe.
$7. I need some verdicts.
If you like the style of game already, please check this out. If you've never played an Anomalies game, I think this is a great one to try. I think the price is good. Buy it.
Anyone
Jacob,
else?
you go next.
I mean, what am I supposed to say? The thing overheated my Xbox. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. It looks good. It plays well. I don't have experience with this style of game because, again, blind, this is not a game style I play. It seems fine, though, so sure, if you're into this, totally worth buying. If you're not into these, I don't think this is going to change your fucking mind, though. So, yeah, if you like it, it's a buy. If you're not into these, don't buy it.
Very helpful. Next up, Castle Crumble, developed by Orbital Knight, published by Drageus Games. This one came out October 3rd on Series X and S, Switch, and PS5 for $4.99. Unleash chaos and creativity in Castle Crumble. Journey through colorful worlds from lush jungles to mysterious islands and destroy mighty fortresses with explosive power. Each castle is a unique puzzle built to challenge your tactics and imagination. Use cannon, bombs, magical rays, and devastating boosters like meteors and shockwaves to bring down walls in glorious chain reactions. With over 300 levels across 6 worlds, Castle Crumble offers endless fun for players who love strategy, destruction, and spectacular physics. Easy to pick up, satisfying to master. Every demolition feels like a victory. Are you ready to crumble them all? Jacob, did you crumble all of them, or at least some of them? Maybe a couple.
I crumbled a bunch of them.
Yay!
If you've played this game before, or you might have actually, because the same devs also made Castle Wreck for the iPhone, which I think we might have actually reviewed way back in the day. I'd have to check on that. But yeah, so pretty much what you're doing is you are trying to destroy all these castles, and you start off with a cannon and you get X amount of shots. And eventually the game does start introducing like various power-ups that you can do, or like there's different ways that you can destroy the castles, because like sometimes there's these hot air balloons that like are also holding bombs attached to them, because you know that's a very normal thing. Or you might be able to have like some sort of like a laser cannon to be able to destroy and just shoot right through the rock, which then makes everything collapse on it. I mean, it's not exactly like the most taxing game, and you should be able to figure out how everything gets done. But I do appreciate the fact that like this isn't just like some sort of a simple port of an iOS game. Like they actually like completely redid it from the ground up. And there are differences like within it compared to the old game. Like it's not like it's just not as simple as the previous one. I mean, is it simple? Yes, but as I said, not as much. It's still really easy to pick up and play, and like you know what you should be doing. But yeah, it's just fun just like blowing up the castles and moving on to the next one for you to blow up. So it's a fun like time waster. Like I don't go in there expecting like some sort of like $50 AAA, like the most realistic physics like of all time. But it is fun to like, you know, make the castle go boom.
Works for me. It's a $5 game. Is it worth picking up for $5?
Oh, wow. Only 5? Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a fun $5 game, definitely.
Really cool. Next up, Sokobear Winter, developed by Bad Kids Games, published by Bad Minions and Little Giant, released October 16th on Xbox One, Series X and S, and Xbox PC for $5 each. Adjust the temperature and relax in the spa. Sokobear Winter is a relaxing puzzle game with 40 cozy levels to warm up your day. Push the logs into the correct spots to raise the spa's temperature to perfection, but beware, blocks of ice block your path. Must be broken before you can move forward. Challenge yourself to complete each stage with the fewest moves and in the shortest time possible. Things can get tricky. How do you get over that log over there if you can only push? Aki, what is Sokobear Winter?
Okay, so this is a Sokopon game. It's one of them where if you push something, it goes that direction until it hits something else. Fun. In this situation, you're an otter swimming around in water, pushing logs around to plug up holes in the water in order to get them heated. It's weird. I don't get it, but hey, I don't have to. It's a game. Good enough for me. And you just push the logs around to get them to go into what looks like a geyser hole, and then you win the level. Along the way, you're gonna occasionally find blocks of ice, and you can either push the log into them, or you can destroy them so the log doesn't hit them. You'll have to do that in order to get it positioned in the correct areas throughout the levels. So fun. This is not made by AFIL Games, so we're not going to have to deal with like 500 of these, so that's cool. However, this is a long one, and it isn't very easy. There were a number of times where I got stuck and had to spend like 20 plus minutes trying to figure out the levels. Happened like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, this one's actually difficult. I approve of that personally, but I know not everyone does. Lots of people just want these to be easy. This isn't one of the super easy ones. I'm sure soon it'll probably have a walkthrough and that'll make it easy, but you know, hey, I didn't have a walkthrough, so fuck you. And yeah, in order to get all the achievements, you have to get through at least to level 31 or past level 31, something like that, in order to get all of the achievements. So a good chunk of the way through the game. Some of the achievements are just beating certain levels. Some are for smacking logs into each other, which is why you need to get to level 31, because you have to do that with 3 logs to smack into each other. And that's like the first level where that happens is either 30 or 31. So fun. And yeah, it's not particularly complicated sounding, because it's just ice and rocks and logs that you're pushing into ice and rocks. It's a very simplistic game here, but it is surprisingly hard to do, especially when you have to get multiple logs into multiple different holes, and it just becomes a fucking logistical fucking nightmare. And yeah, I really kind of rather enjoyed this one. It was pretty fun.
It is totally a logistical nightmare trying to fit all those logs into holes. I know how that is, Aki.
Well, you can fit tons of logs into your hole, so I don't know why you understand that, but okay.
Especially gaping geyser holes.
Exactly.
I hate my life. $5. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally worth it. I think this is a great little game. If you just want these to be simple and easy, this one probably isn't for you. But if you just like Sokobans, I think this is totally worth it. It has a little bit of challenge, not too much. So yeah, I'm totally for it. I think it's great.
Cool beans. Next up, Paint Path, developed and published by AFIL Games. Released October 14th, Xbox and PlayStation, $5 per platform. In Paint Path, every step is a brush stroke. This pixel art puzzle puts you in control of a walking canvas that must cross hexagonal maps to reach the right painters. The atmosphere is charming and relaxing, with sound design tied to each painting action, creating a cozy and artistic experience. Jacob, what is Paint Path?
Paint Path is much like a lot of the other tile puzzle games that AFIL has released. You have to get the character from one end of the map to the other, and usually you'll have to meet certain criteria. Well, in this one, you have to get the correct type of paint to the artists. And so if you have one artist that wants purple, you're going to have to make it so that you run through the blue and the red paints before you get to them. Otherwise, you've delivered the wrong ones, and then it ends. Sometimes you'll have to like run in through white paint, which gets rid of the previous one. And yeah, like it's not bad. Like it was relaxing. It definitely isn't as much of like a headache as some of the other ones that we've done, like the ones with the bees or the pirates. This was actually chill. I just kind of wish they included more different artists in it, because like I mean you have one that's supposed to be like Frida Kahlo. You have another one that is supposed to be shit. I think one of them is supposed to be Van Gogh. And then there's like 2 other guys in there. And it's just like, you know who they're supposed to represent. Like, I just wish that, like, you know, they kind of did more. But all in all, I didn't think it was that bad.
Okie dokie. I was going to load up Dwaggy's YouTube to see if he had any comments on this game. And all I see is a video that says, a discussion about AFIL Games. It's far worse than we thought. And I don't know if I want to read or watch anymore.
Oh, dear.
I'll go watch it. Don't worry. I will let us know how upset we need to be.
Oh, this is not good.
It's like part 5 of 38.
Oh, Jesus, no.
This is just the description of Dwaggy's video. A data breach that they allegedly tried to cover up by not making a public statement or contacting anyone who could have been affected, mistreatment of employees, bad company culture, a management team that gives orders and listens to no feedback, and the CEO who tries to hide all of the incriminating actions his company does. It gets worse.
Oh no.
Holy God.
I can't comment on any of that because I don't know about any of that. But it's
Well, that's
very
gonna be
worrying.
fun. How long is the video?
It is 50 minutes.
Almost an hour long. Oh,
Cool.
fuck. I'm watching this tonight. Don't worry.
That is
I'll have answers.
That is a fucking documentary right there. Gee.
Yeah. Oh, this worries
All right.
me.
Ah, shit. All right, Jacob, $5 your verdict.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe, we think.
Oh, God.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh, what are you going to do?
Good times. All right, well, we got 2 more games to take care of. Time to go to Kids Corner. George, take it away.
Kids Corner with Jacob and friends.
That's right. It is Kids Corner, and we got 2 games to talk about in Kids Corner this week. First up is Snoopy and the Great Mystery Club, developed by Cradle Games, published by GameMill Entertainment. Released October 10th on Series X and S and Xbox PC, the Switch, PS5, and PC for $39.99. Join Snoopy and the gang in an all-new mystery-packed adventure with charm, clever puzzles, and heartwarming friendships. Step into Snoopy's paws, and detective hat as you explore the town, solve challenging cases, and uncover hidden secrets with help from the lovable Peanuts gang. Jacob, what is going on in Snoopy and the Great Mystery Club?
So Snoopy and the Great Mystery Club has Snoopy. Surprise.
What?
Yeah. Features him in a number of roles as you go about solving various mysteries within the community. At first, you have to find out where all of your dog food went, and then you're finding out like where like football equipment has gone. And as you're doing this, Snoopy gets to don various outfits, much like he did in the comic strips. And so you're going to be a pirate, you're going to be a pilot, you're going to be a detective, you're going to wear many different hats, which is usually the signifying thing of which one you are. Anyway, so you have a lot of environments to explore around the neighborhood, which I thought was pretty cool. And you can, of course, fast travel by using the city bus. And I mean, you're going to have to first off do everything by foot, as you have to unlock stuff, but also you have to run around the neighborhood. You have to talk to people. You have to look for clues. And you have to also do various mini games because sometimes people are willing to help you, but you got to do something for them first. You know, you got to scratch their back, or maybe you just have to pitch 3 strikes or kick a field goal. Who knows? So
weird options.
Yeah, honestly, as a kid's game, like I thought this was, it was definitely a little bit more in depth than I thought it was going to be for this, and I was actually impressed with the amount of like how much thinking it's going, the kids are going to have to do it. It's not just a simple game. You are going to have to think about where you go next, and the game's not always going to hold your hand. I mean, worst case scenario, you can go down and talk to Linus at his thinking wall and go, and find out what he thinks you should be doing. But a lot of it is just searching for clues and trying to figure out what makes sense. Now, it does get frustrating at times because areas will get locked off and the characters are just oh, I don't think I should go here right now. And it's just but all you just have to do is just open up this door. I don't have to go through the school building, all the way through the school building just to go around here, just to go around this area. I shouldn't have to. But eventually everything will become unlocked. And the game does expect you to do certain stuff. If you try going into the girls' bathroom, Lucy will be in there being what are you doing here? And then you get kicked out. which
Good.
was pretty fun. It was funny the first time I discovered it. But you're going to have to go through all the classrooms, and sometimes you're going to have to go through areas, multiple times, because while it may not be pertinent to this case, next case, there might be something that you're looking for in there. I didn't really have like that many qualms with it. Like, gameplay was fine. It controls okay for a kid's game. I wasn't really a fan of the fact that like you have to like keep mashing buttons to get stuff done. I kind of wish you could just hold down and like Snoopy would dig instead of having to like keep clicking right trigger all the time. But the game made sense. It's cute. The only gripe that I had as an adult is that, like, I've read enough Peanuts cartoons and watched enough of the shows that there was, like, certain bits of dialogue that I'm like, they wouldn't have said that. Thank you very much. Like, no, that is like what Snoopy just said is very out of character for him. Which also I know like a 6 and 7 year old is not going to care about. Yeah,
nope,
like I thought
weird
it was
one.
cute. Yeah, I know. Honestly, this is the best Snoopy game that's been out since Snoopy Flying Ace way back on the Xbox 360 days. Honestly, I think this one's worth checking out. It's cute. There's plenty to do, and I think it'll keep the kids entertained.
All right. There is a DLC package for the game. The game is $40. There's a deluxe edition for $49.99 that includes a DLC pack with a Joe Cool outfit, which is always fun.
Yeah.
2 Red Baron mini games, 2 Peanut Soapbox Racing mini games, and a 75th anniversary comic collection. That sounds
totally
really good for some
awesome.
extras.
Yeah. It's honestly totally worth it. And one of the things that I did like, because obviously, with something like this, you're going to have various collectibles. You can actually run around the map and collect comic strips. And then later on, you can go read them, which I thought was a nice little touch. So, yeah, like I would say yes to the game and also yes to the DLC.
Very good. So $40 for the game, 50 deluxe edition. Get them.
Get the deluxe edition. Get the deluxe. It's worth it.
Cool. One final game to talk about tonight. We're sticking around in Kids Corner with Barbie Horse Trails. Jacob, I know you're excited. Just let it out.
This is the game Red Dead Redemption 2 wishes it was.
Developed by PHL Collective, published by Outright Games. We are Outright ambassadors, and they like us for some reason. Released October 10th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Xbox PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC for $39.99. Giddy up, play as Barbie and Barbie in a... Play as Barbie and Barbie?
One of them's Malibu and the other one's Brooklyn. There's 2 different and they both have those are like Barbie is like their names, but they differentiate between each other because one of them's Malibu and yeah.
In a new open-world adventure through Canterbury Trails Park with your horse, Lucky. Become a junior ranger and help give the already amazing park a fresh new look for everyone to enjoy. Gallop through wildflower fields and other beautiful landscapes. Tackle fun side missions with friends. Capture amazing photos. Dig up ceramics. And search for the mystery horse. Find chests filled with collectibles and add sparkle to Barbie and Lucky's looks. From the cozy cabins to the lively campsite, there's plenty to unlock and discover. Ride along on this wild adventure and see. Jacob, tell us about your game of the year, Barbie Horse Trails.
So, Barbie Horse Trails.
And we're joking, but you're probably really going to include this in your top 10.
I will not. I will not make you privy to such notions at this juncture in time. We still have 2 more months in the year, so Dora the Explorer and Elf on the Shelf are coming up. So it's got some. They've got like this game's got some competition going already. So, Barbie Horse Adventures actually is a sequel to Barbie Project Friendship, which came out, I think, last year. It might have been 2 years ago. Honestly, I don't know.
I have no concept of time.
Yeah, I know. I was really surprised because last week we were talking about the Grinch and it was like, oh yeah, 2 years ago. And I'm like, no, man, it came out a year ago. And then I looked it up. Yeah, it really did come out 2 years ago. So
and you were calling me a liar. I'm like, no, man, I'm
you
serious.
still are. You still are a liar. Or
meanie.
Yeah, but I think they also re-released the physical last year of Grinch. But all right, that's neither here nor there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so this goes off of Barbie Project Friendship, and so you're going to have some returning characters, and the lady who you were helping last time to fix up the resort. Well, she's at this huge national park or natural park. They try to make it seem like they're feds, but they're not. Whatever. Anyway, so you're at this huge nature park. And while it's not in disrepair like that resort was previously, it definitely needs some boost because they're going to be able to get some grants and some legislative stuff done if they can prove that more people are going to be coming to this place and there's lots to do and so on and so forth. And of course, Barbie and Barbie are just like, yes, we will help. And so you have to help the Rangers get various stuff done, such as marking off new trails, taking photos of the wildlife and also the scenery, exploring the area because there's all sorts of stuff. There's caves, there's boxes that are just randomly all over the place that contain food for your horse and t-shirts for Barbie. And one of the things that I had talked about with Project Friendship was that it was just the clothes really didn't matter. Well, there is a ton of clothes in this game, so you can swap out however you want Barbie to dress on this one. There's a lot of different styles to choose from, hair, clothing, all that kind of stuff. You can even also customize your horse when you first get them. So then, you can make everything as you want it to be. There is a bunch of stuff throughout the park that you can explore, different areas. But you're also going to be helping out various people. One person you have to help stargaze. Which was kind of cool because they teaches kids about constellations and you actually have to find the constellation in the night sky and make out the shape of the constellation. You can also participate in archaeology digs and find stuff to help increase people coming to the park. You get to make new trails. You get to meet animals. I haven't run into this mysterious horse thing yet. I guess I'm not far enough in the missions, but it's just I was not expecting a whole lot out of this game because Barbie Project Friendship, there really wasn't a whole lot to the whole resort area, and it seemed very cookie cutter with how stuff got done. This very much is an open world game. Think of it kind of like Paw Patrol World in that kind of term, except this time you're Barbie and you're riding around on a horse. And so when you have a game like this, you're gonna have to have huge open spaces. And the devs really it feels like you're in a park, huge national park. There's lots of stuff to explore, the running around, riding your horse does feel natural, and there's various speeds that you can do on it. You can also groom your horse, you can pet it, you can feed it, you can do all sorts of stuff in this game. And compared to the other one, there's actually a decent amount of variety to this. So, it seems like I don't remember if this is the same devs as Barbie Project Friendship, but it seems like the lessons from the first game were learned, and like they definitely applied it to this one to make a much better game. Like, I was surprised. This is actually kind of quality.
Very good. Any other thoughts on it? Are you ready to talk price?
I don't think I have like really any thoughts about it. I mean, like, honestly, as I will say this, as an adult, it was nice to just have a game where it's chill. And like, if you just want to like ride around on your horse and just like explore, you can do that. If you want to participate in races, you can do that. If you just like want to like hang out in this like, beautiful forest thing, go for it. You can do it. And at the same time, like, you're going to learn stuff, and it's got plenty of positive messages and people in this game. Like, I think it's a good game for kids.
Very good. It is $39.99. Give me a verdict.
Surprising. Yeah. $40 is totally worth it.
Cool beans. And with that, we're done.
All right.
Yay! Thank you, everyone, for hanging out, keeping me company the whole time. Big thanks to Anna for coming on from Transparent Games. Go check those games out on Steam, on itch. Check out their website. Do all the fun stuff. Big thanks for coming on, chatting with us, hanging out, and for Horror Acolyte for coming on, doing his review. I don't know what to play for music because I don't know if I have any Barbie remixes from Overclocked or not.
There was one way back in the day, but I don't remember if I don't know if it was one that got removed or not.
I don't know. I will have to see what we got. We're done. Anyone have any final words to end the show?
Eat, sleep, game, repeat.
We have a shirt that says "Eat, Sleep, SML, Repeat."
I should get one of those for myself. I love it. Go buy it.